High school football fans, stay tuned. It's a crosstown cruncher as Elgin battles Larkin for the right to stay alive in the playoffs. It's coming up next on Jones Intercable Television.
Time out for Augustino's. Great food for a great time.
Augie makes the pass. It's one of his delicious mammoth sandwiches. Augie cooks everything up for the big appetite, like their party-size super subs and deli sandwiches. Treat your team to the best. Tackle one of Augustino's great pizzas with all the fixings. So team up with a winner, Augustino's Rock and Roll Deli on the corner of Schmally and St. Charles Road in Carroll Stream.
Who's got the best deli in the West?
Augustino's!
Look, you gotta help me. My baby's dying.
All right, sir. We're on our way.
Wrench. Screwdriver.
Where?
Got to her just in time.
Cavelli's A1 service. Randall and Galena in Aurora.
From Memorial Field in Elgin, Jones Intercable Television presents second round high school football playoff action as the 9-1 Larkin Royals host the 8-2 Elgin Maroons in part 2 of their crosstown grudge match. Hello everyone, alongside Joe Schneider and I'm Bob Erzik, and it's a warm Saturday afternoon in Elgin with temperatures hovering in the upper 60s. The winds are out of the southwest at about 15 miles per hour, but it's expected to get much cooler and possibly even rain as the game progresses. As you can see, it's a bit cloudy out there at this point, but now this is the second time these two teams meet, and the last time they met it was just 8 days ago on October 26th when Larkin downed Elgin 26-14 for their first Upstate 8 Conference Championship since 1980. But Joe Snydoff, after both teams posted first-round W's this past Wednesday, this game's a little bit more important because the loser goes home and watches the rest of the playoffs right here on Jones Intercable.
Oh, that's right, Bob. This one for all the marbles, of course, advancement. You have Elgin, who had a tough game with Streamwood, winning in the closing minutes of that ball game. They're very banged up. The backfield is hurting tremendously. You have Larkin on the other hand, and they just seem to be rolling and peaking at the right time.
You're right about that. Larkin crushed Moline in their first-round ball game, 36-6. And as you mentioned, Joe, against Streamwood, Elgin came back and won a dramatic battle, 10-6, with 3 of their top players missing in that game. We're talking about Ron Washington and LaBrian Carrington, both on offense, defense, good runners, good defensive players, and Tom Lakowitz, who plays both ways on defense as well. So you're right about that. Larkin coming into this ball game with a 7-game winning streak, as there you see the Royals on the move, while the Maroons, on the other hand, they're coming off that win against Streamwood. The coaches for these two teams, for Larkin, Bob Krieger. He's in his first season here after coming over from Streamwood. He was an assistant coach there for 9 years. He has an overall career record of 9-1. That all coming this year, a playoff record of 1-0. And Joe, Dick Stevens is the man who leads Elgin.
Well, you mentioned Dick Stevens. Overall, 30 years on the job, 158 wins, 105 losses, 12 years with the Maroons, 71 wins, 52 losses. He got a couple ties and a 4-3 playoff record. Coach Dick Stubborn Stevens, you could bet that he'll have his Maroons prepared for this one, some revenge here.
And you know, Joe, these two teams have been playing a long time against each other in this crosstown rivalry. Larkin leads the series 15 wins against 13 losses. Of course, as we mentioned, they won the last game just a week ago. During that whole entire time, Gray Haley has been the coach of that Larkin team, and in that time they have won 6 conference championships. Elgin has won 4 conference championships, but Larkin hasn't been to the playoffs in a while. Back in 1985, they haven't won a playoff game since '79. Elgin, on the other hand, they went in '87 and made it all the way to the quarterfinals, but only one team will advance today. We had a chance to talk with both coaches recently about this upcoming matchup here, and they had some interesting comments to say.
The officials for today's
if we played our best defense all year with what we started out in June with, and we're going to stick with that. We're not going to do anything different. Hopefully we can do things to ensure the fact we don't allow him to break free, but certainly we're not going to do anything drastic, make any drastic changes.
What we'll have to stop is, of course, their power game, their unbalanced line, their power eye, and they're going to try to come at us like Lake Park did, I would imagine. And also, they've put in quite a lot of passing game now, and we'll have to be ready for that. We hope they do go to the air.
What about Kendrick?
Actually, Joe, I'm not so sure that Coach Stevens still wants him to go to the air because Mike Rolando, the quarterback for Larkin, has had some great ball games coming into this one today.
Started off slow the year, but gradually maturing, hitting Chris Brown and a few other people in the backfield, and a very confident passing attack along with a great running game.
And you heard Coach Krieger mention we have to stop him. Who he was talking about actually was Charles Stafford, the quarterback, the transfer from the Los Angeles area. He's the main gun on that team. As you see, some of the keys for Larkin is they've got to contain Stafford. He's the big guy back there. He runs well, throws well. He's definitely a one-man show sometimes out there. Also, Larkin wants to out-hit the Maroons. This is a super strong Royals hitting team, and they want to establish the momentum there. They want to control the line of scrimmage, both sides of the football on defense and offense, and they got to get a big game out of Kendrick Thomas, who has rushed for over 1,200 yards this season, and he also has 17 touchdowns.
Well, some of the keys for Elgin, of course, is they have to have a big game from Stafford. He's going to have to roll out in the pocket, going to have the moving pocket, and see if he can throw some 30 or 40-yard strikes to Boulay Tyrannicone or maybe Jay Kilgore. Control the football. You don't want Larkin moving it with Kendrick Thomas and company. Force some turnovers. They did that versus Streamwood. See if they get some big hits. Of course, stop Kendrick Thomas so that you're forcing him to go to the air game and the air game only.
And not too many teams have stopped Kendrick this year. He scored a touchdown in every single ball game. He averages about 7 yards a carry. On defense for the Royals, they give about 124 yards on the ground, rushing through the air 65 for a total of 189 yards. They've only given up 76 total points this season. We're talking about the regular season, Joe. We mentioned that they gave up 6 against Moline in their opening round playoff game, so that's about 8 points a contest. They've been a very impressive, strong hitting D all year long.
Definitely a strong defense, as is the Elgin defense. They're going to have to create turnovers like we had in some of the keys. The defensive backs are going to have to do a fine job. There's the 103 yards a game on the ground. They're going to have to start coming up with some of those defensive backs to see if they can get Heiser and maybe Thomas stopped in the backfield. 64 yards a game in the air. That's very impressive, and that's because they got Washington and Carrington out there on the corners, of course, with Charlie Stafford, the everything man. 167 total a game, 95 points given up. Very quality-like defense.
And, of course, just a reminder, these are regular season stats. They gave up 6 points against Streamwood, but they've been solid all year long. There you see some of the two quarterbacks for each team. For the Elgin Maroons, Charles Stafford, 695 yards passing this year, 45% total. He has thrown 5 touchdown passes, just 2 interceptions. He's definitely a better quarterback on the run, and he has struggled a little bit there, passing-wise.
And Mike Rolando, of course, started the year off slow like we were talking versus Wheaton North and a few earlier teams. Now he's gaining confidence, 36%.
All right, we're going to be getting ready for live action, but let's jump first of all to the Royals offense. Mike Rolando, their starting quarterback, as Joe mentioned earlier. He has had a tough season early on, but he's gone through it very well at this point. Kendrick Thomas, the running back. Chris Heiser's at fullback. The 2 wide receivers, Chris Brown and Jim Schneider. The tight ends, Tim Lickner, Jake Pritchett at center. John Petchow along with Casey Fellows, the 2 guards, while Tim Hughes and Mark Hornok, the Division I candidates, are the 2 tackles.
Let's take a look at that defense after we get the kickoff.
All right, we are ready for the opening kickoff. They want to get this game going a little bit early, actually 5 minutes ahead of time, Joe.
A little ahead of time.
For the main reason why is I think they're worried about the weather. We're supposed to have a serious front coming through here where they're expecting a lot of rain, and it's supposed to get awfully cold here, so they want to get this ball game off. Larkin will be kicking it off. They are in their blue uniforms and their gray pants. Kendrick Thomas getting the crowd on his feet, and there you see the Elgin Maroons in their predominantly white uniforms, maroon helmets and numbers. They are getting ready to receive the football in the south end zone of the field. As we mentioned, the winds out of the southwest about 15 miles per hour. It's a cloudy day. Rain is expected. Temperatures in the 60s. Here's a low boot by Thomas. It's going to be taken by one of the upbacks. He's at the 15, goes straight up the gut before being taken down at the 35-yard line. Actually, the man was Tabari Evans, the gentleman we talked about who scored the winning touchdown for Elgin in their first-round matchup against Streamwood. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line for the Maroons. They take over in their own territory, trying to get a little bit of revenge from that loss last Friday night against the same Larkin team right here at Memorial Field, a 26-14 final there. There you see the Royals defense really quickly. Cargill and Hornok, the 2 tackles, along with Pritchett and Pena. The linebacker Schneider, Short, Heiser, defensive back Stennis, Brown, Rossborough, and Thomas. Back to pass.
Going long.
They've got a man. It's picked off by Javon Stennis. Stennis has some green in front of him. Still on his feet, taken down to the 32-yard line. A marker is down. And on the first play, Larkin comes up with a turnover as Javon Stennis picks off a pass. They were looking for Boulay Tyrannicone, but Stennis was there. Johnny on the spot with the interception.
Just didn't air it out long enough. They wanted to try to hit the home run ball on the first play of scrimmage. Didn't air it out to Boulay, just hung it up for grabs. Javon Stennis was right there, had the wall along the sidelines. He took about 20, but they're going to come out of that around the 49.
What I understand, there's a penalty on Larkin. It was a clip, and it goes back 15 yards to the 49, but it's still a great start for the Royals, and I think the first team that scores here is going to have a decided advantage, as Larkin did it on their first drive last time against Elgin, and they've got great field position again, as they did the last time they played. Rolando off the play action. Got him, and it's Jim Schneider. Great catch! He's in the end zone for a touchdown! A 51-yard touchdown pass to Jim Schneider, and it's 6-0 Larkin, just like that, with 11:09 left to go in the first quarter.
Woo-hoo! Fireworks right off the bat. Nothing like state playoff football action. We'll see Rolando drop back. There's a little play action. They bid on it. They bid on it. You got the touchdown bomb. Great catch right there.
Jimmy Schneider on the touchdown. Goes 51 yards. The extra point attempt from Todd Sinko is up, and it is good. So with 11:09 left to go in the first quarter, Larkin strikes in a hurry, and they're on top, 7-zip.
Unbelievable. You get it picked off, and then that's great football calling. Great play calling by the Larkin coaching staff. Super. Hey, let's go right back at him. 7-0. What momentum.
51 seconds into the game there. You see Mike Rolando throwing the bomb. He aired it out, and that was just a fantastic catch by Jimmy Schneider, who last week returned an interception, 89 yards for a touchdown. And just like that, Larkin on the board quickly. You mentioned how Elgin bit on the play action. They did the same thing last week, except it was a 62-yard touchdown pass to Rick Short, the tight end. And they went up top again, and big play for Larkin. They're on top early, 7-0.
Rolando, sort of the Boomer Esiason of the Upstate Eights.
And Coach Krieger was saying, boy, if he could have Rolando for one more year, as Rolando kind of a pioneer. He's like the first quarterback actually in this Larkin system to be geared toward passing after all the running they did from the power wishbone under Coach Ray Haley, who was here for 28 years at Larkin coaching. So Kendrick Thomas will boot it from his own 40-yard line. Short kick going to be taken up by one of the upbacks. It's Tabari. Oh! And he's hit right away by Chris Heiser, along with Ray Pena and Kendrick Thomas, the man who kicked it off. No gain there. Larkin is fired up. Let's take a look at Elgin's offense. They'll start it off. Charles Stafford is the quarterback. Rob Walker and Roderick Ash, the 2 running backs. We may see LaBrian Carrington, however, and Ronnie Washington, their 2 injured starters.
We'll see them.
Kilgore and Lane are the 2 wideouts, along with Boulay Tyrannicone. Paul Pennington and Swider, the guards. Abello Shantabury, the tackles, along with Clement McCullough, the center. And he is starting for Tom Lakowitz, who was hurt the last time these 2 teams met.
Pitch.
Not much yardage there for Roderick Ash. Maybe a couple if he's lucky. And it's going to bring up about I'm going to say he didn't gain anything. So it's going to be 2nd and 10. early on here, first quarter. If you're just joining us, a big 51-yard touchdown pass from Mike Rolando to Jim Schneider, with just 51 seconds gone from the game after Javon Stennis picked off a pass from Charles Stafford.
Going right at each other, right off the bat.
Here's the give. Ash on the counter. He's up the middle, still on his feet before being taken down at the 35-yard line, but not until he picked up a first down and 15 yards later. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 35 for the Maroons.
Oh, they got some speed also on the bench. That was evident right there by Roger Cash. Right up the middle. Good game. First down.
Elgin last time rushed for about 170 yards against Larkin, but it didn't matter very much.
Bob, they're going to have to utilize that speed in the backfield. Get it cooking, get it motoring.
They're a very good trapping team. Here's Ash. He's met right away. Big hit from Jim Schneider, along with Rick Short from the linebacker spot, and he picks up maybe a yard, if that. Let's call it 2nd and 9 now from the 36.
Woo! What a stick by Schneider.
That's what Coach Krieger says. It's one of the main reasons why he's so proud of that defense, is it's a super hard-hitting group. Actually, he says the hardest-hitting group he's ever coached, and he was at Streamwood for 9 years, and they had some very good teams there.
Pattern themselves after the Michigan State defense. The Spartans stunting 4-4.
Here's the pitch.
That was a nice fake.
It's Carrington, still on his feet. Jitterbugs his way before being met by Short. Close to the midfield marker. He gets it up to the 48, a pickup of 12 yards and a first down. And there you see LaBrian Carrington. There was a question on whether he would play today, but he's in there right now, and he had a nice pickup there.
Hurt or not, you have to go.
He had a deep thigh bruise, but this is the big game. It could be the last game of his career. He's a senior. So it's 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line.
Right up the middle.
Right up the gut on the keeper is Stafford. He gets it into Larkin territory to about the 44-yard line. And that's a pickup of 7.
Brought down by number 35.
It'll bring down a 2nd and 3. Jim Schneider in there on the tackle.
See, if that Elgin offensive line can come to the forefront, they're going to have to do some blocking. And they're doing a nice job right now.
And Clement McCullough, the sophomore who took over the center spot from Lakowicz, had a great game last week, and they're going to need another one from here to him today.
That's right.
Here's the pitch.
Boy.
It's picked up by Washington, though. Still on his feet before being met by Stennis at the 35-yard line. But he got another 9 yards and another first down. So Elgin marching the football down the field is LaBrian Carrington, who suffered a stress fracture. The last time these two teams played, didn't look like it on that last carry.
Lucky bounce for Elgin. Popped right back in Ronnie Washington's hands, and there you can see the hitting that's going to take place this afternoon. Helmets are just going to be connecting with other helmets.
It's do or die. The loser goes home and watches the rest of the playoffs. A 7-game winning streak for Larkin coming into this game. And they beat Elgin just 8 days ago. Here it is, Washington again on the cross. Still on his feet. Avoids another tackler. He's twisting his way down inside the 15-yard line to about the 13. A pickup of 22 yards for Ronnie Washington. And he is running with a purpose out there.
Running with a purpose, Bob, because the Maroons' offensive line is opening some gaping holes. Watch the hole. Paul Pennington, Phil Swider, Dan Abello, Prasong Chantabary, and Con McCullough opening up the holes, and Washington taking advantage.
And it was his counterpart, Kendrick Thomas, that saved the touchdown as Washington shedded a tackle from Chris Brown and picked up extra yardage. Here's the pitch again. Washington has more yardage off the left side. A marker goes down.
Hold, I think.
Chris Brown in there on the tackle, but there is a marker down. It may nullify that pickup. They're running it on the other side of the field, Joe.
Clip. Ooh. I think there's a clip on Tyrannicone. See if we can pick that up.
So that's going to nullify a nice gain again for Ronnie Washington. Our referee today is Bill Laud from Frankfurt, and he makes the call, as Joe mentioned, the clip going against Elgin, so that will bring the football back, and there's a timeout. A timeout on the field. Coach Dick Stevens takes it. And last week, a similar situation on their first drive. They were trailing 7-0 after Kendrick Thomas ran one in from the 1-yard line, Joe, and on the following drive, Elgin took it down the field, and they were facing a similar situation like this. They took a touchdown, a timeout, I should say, and then scored a touchdown as LaBrian Carrington took it in from the 16. So I think what Coach Stevens is doing here is he wants to make sure that he's got signals straight with his players and knock the football in the end zone. They don't want a field goal here.
Oh, no, not at all, Bob. Like you said, get the signal straight, but more importantly, just get 7. I want to see this thing knotted up. Let's turn it into a football game. We were out of it the last time. One of the keys that I sort of have written down for the Elgin Maroons is to score early and get some confidence, and maybe let the special teams play a part in this one. You have some lightning quick backs.
Special teams definitely hurt them last time, Joe. A couple of bad punts from Paul Pennington set up good field position for Larkin. They ended up punching it into the end zone, and Enrico LaPrairie missed an extra point that hurt him. They don't want that to happen again. First and 20 from the 24.
Continue to run.
Stafford barking out the signals. Lane in motion far side, the tight end. Trying to draw him offside. Here's Washington. Far side, sweeping. He's met. He fumbled the football. It's loose. And I think Larkin has recovered it. Larkin has recovered the football. So Ronnie Washington fumbles the football, and Larkin picks it up. And there's a big turnover as Elgin's chances for a score are squashed.
What a back-breaking, bone-crunching hit that was! Only in Civil Wars will you see that. Only in Civil Wars. Here it is. Oh!
I couldn't see who stripped the football, Joe, but it looked like maybe Chris Heiser recovered it. So it's first and 10 from the 31. High formation backfield. Kendrick Thomas hasn't touched the football yet, but he has it now. Off the line, maybe a couple yards if that, as Elgin's defense swarms over there. And it's about a 2nd and 8 situation. Let's take a look at that Maroon defense, which has had a great year. The two defensive ends, Rob Getz and Jason Ackman. Chris Savino along with Chris Van Stone. I believe Lakowitz is starting today instead of Van Stone. Andy Poisson, the nose guard. The linebackers, Walker, Pennington, and Span.
Need a big game from them.
Kilgore, Stafford, and Kotlinski. The entire defensive backs out there.
Walker, Pennington, and Span.
So it's a 2nd and 9 football on the 32-yard line. Gain of 1 yard for Kendrick Thomas. He rushed for 100 the last time these two teams met and had a 55-yard touchdown.
Really stringing it out.
Oh! Big hit over there from Rob Walker.
Number 32, Kendrick Thomas.
But it was a pickup of about 5 yards. It'll bring up a 3rd and 4 situation now. Football resting at about the 38-yard line, as you can hear the Larkin band whooping it up on the near sidelines.
Bob, need a solid effort by the Elgin linebackers, not only to contain Kendrick Thomas, but also to put a little bit of a rush on Mike Rolando, see if some of his passes can get picked off.
He had all day on that play-action pass, and it hurt him. 2 receivers draped out to the far side.
Uh-oh.
Straight up the gut. Not much there at all for Rolando on the keeper.
Pennington popped him.
Got it up to a little bit over the 40-yard line. The nose of the football close to the 41. It's going to bring up, however, a 4th and about 1 yard to go. It's going to be an interesting play call here.
It is going to be an
Coach
interesting
Krieger.
play call. Got a punt.
So Kendrick Thomas will come on to punt. He punts. He kicks off. He's their leading rusher at over 1,200 yards this season, 17 touchdowns.
Ladies and gentlemen,
and he also returned an interception for a touchdown last week.
You have until 2:30 to move it, or it will be towed. 2:30 to move your car if it's in the Toyota dealership. Thank you.
So there you see, not much to go for that first down for the Maroons. No, they're going for. No, they're not. Okay, the Thomas, who's normally set up in the backfield, was moving up closer to the line of scrimmage, but then he backed off.
I'm sure the coaches are yelling, beware of the fake, beware of the fake, beware of the fake.
Charles Stafford's the lone setback, standing at his own about 30-yard line. Thomas is a good punter.
There we go. Let's
Clock
see.
moving with about 5 minutes to go. First quarter, 7-0 our score. Larkin on top. Some movement on the line. Looks like Lakowitz got back in
Good
time.
boot.
Good boot is right as Stafford backs up to his own 20, fumbles the football. But he picks it back up. Got nowhere to go. He's pushed out of bounds at the 20-yard line by Jake Pritchett and Chris Heiser. So Elgin will take over. First and 10 from its own 20. And some markers go down. What is it?
Uh-oh, look like it might have been on Kendrick.
Kendrick Thomas, he does a little talking out there. He's not afraid to. And it's going to be a personal foul, and that's going to cost him. That was a silly mistake.
He's more than fired up, Bob. He's more than fired up.
Last week he was doing a little bit of talking out there as well, and this one's going to cost him 15 yards. And he's bent over at his own 45-yard line saying to myself, why did I do that? He knows he made a mistake. He was caught up in the heat of the emotion. And it's going to cost him. So it's going to be now first and 10.
On the run back after the play, dead ball, facing a foul, on blue, first down right.
Bill Watt, our referee today, you heard the call from him. Personal foul going against Larkin. So Elgin gets better field position. They haven't had great field position. The last time they met this Larkin team, they haven't had it yet, but this is decent field position.
They moved the football with the run the last time. Don't see any reason to change.
Lane in motion to the far side. Stafford, long count. And a mix-up in the backfield. Another fumble! Jake Pritchett picks it up, and Larkin again is in business. There was a mix-up in the backfield between Ronnie Washington and Charles Stafford, and it cost him as Washington coughs it up for the second straight time. And Larkin again in great field position at the 29 in Elgin territory.
Fighting for their lives because of mistakes. You can't have this kind of action in playoff games, Bob.
And that just might be a little bit of rustiness, seeing that Ronnie Washington didn't play the last game against Streamwood. He just ran right into his quarterback.
Can't have it.
And his good buddy, Charles Stafford. High formation backfield for Mike Rolando and the Larkin Royals. Receiver to the far and near side, it's Thomas. He's met in the backfield, bounces off a tackler, still on his feet, spins away down to the 22-yard line before being taken down by Chris Van Stone and Chris Kotlinski. But there is a marker on the field, and we'll have to see what that call is. But a very impressive run from Kendrick Thomas. He picked up about 8 yards. He was met right in the backfield.
Holding.
So Larkin penalized again, this time for holding. And that's going to cost him a nice run. But Moline's coach, the last team that Larkin played in the first round of the playoffs, was just saying, boy, Kendrick Thomas, he's such a good runner. There were a lot of times that we hit him in the backfield, and he just kept on running, picking up yardage, and he showed it right there, Joe.
Holding for the offense, still first down.
And Bob, one thing he also mentioned was that the size of Larkin is just incredible, especially that offensive line of Hornok, Fellows, Pritchett, Hughes, and Petshaw. Just great amount of beef up there, and when you have guys like Schneider and Thomas back there to find room, that's dangerous.
And Lichtner also does a nice job. Here's Schneider off the left side on a counter play. He picks up maybe 3 or 4 yards. The nose guard, Andy Poisson, along with Rob Getson there on the tackle.
Getson, 70, Andy Poisson.
So it's going to be a pickup of possibly, let's call it 4 yards. It'll bring up a 2nd and 16 situation after the holding penalty. 2 turnovers already in the ball game for Elgin. 1 cost him. It set up the touchdown from Rolando to Schneider just 51 seconds into the ball game, a 51-yard pass. And that was after a Washington fumble. And again, Larkin in great field position after another Washington fumble.
There's a pass.
Rolando, plenty of time. Got a man, tipped up in the air. It's almost intercepted by Paul Pennington. They're out there looking for the tight end, Tim Lichtner, at about the 25, but it was tipped up in the air. And they almost came down with the INT, Joe.
Great play by Chris Kotlinski to cut in there. We've seen Paul Pennington pick off a pass in the Streamwood game, and he tried to bend over backwards for that one, as Kotlinski got a hand there.
Elgin had 4 interceptions against Streamwood, 2 of them going to Stafford. There it is. Kotlinski, as you mentioned, Joe, the first one in there. But back to live action, a 3rd and 16 situation facing Larkin.
Big play for the Maroons D. Blindside!
It's going to be a sack. Jason Ackman from the defensive end spot was in there, and he put Rolando to the turf down at the 40-yard line. So Larkin will have to punt the football. Big defensive play for the Maroons.
Got him from the blind side. Rolando couldn't read him. Due in part because he couldn't see him. Needed a big play from the defense. Right here. Here it is. Wraps him up. Throws him to the turf.
Jason Ackman, the 6'2", 165-pound junior, coming up big for the Maroons. Here's Thomas, high punt. It's going to be taken by Stafford and his own. Fumbles the football! And I think Larkin may have it. Larkin says they've got it. No, they don't.
No.
Lucky break for Elgin. They fumbled the football 4 times in their last meeting, and already today they fumbled it 4 times, and they've lost 2 of them.
Man, if I'm Dick Stevens, I'm pulling somebody off to the sideline and saying, hey, this is it, gentlemen.
Take a look at it again. Charles Stafford was lucky to get that football back. Stafford got off a nice punt.
You need to move it by 2:30 or it will be towed.
Watch Stafford cough it up, and it looked like Chris Heiser had it. But Elgin got it back.
I think he recovered it.
So again, not very good field position. 1st and 10 from the 10. Here's Stafford rolling. He's got some time. Has a man. It's caught. Pat Lane, the tight end, gets it out to about the 27, 28-yard line. Chris Brown along with Javon Stennis, as well as Jim Schneider, gang tackle Lane, but a pickup of 17 yards and a first down as Lane came out of the tight end spot to make this catch.
Thought he was going to go deep to Dyranicone. Nice strike. You can see the spiral on that ball. Lane stands up tall. Gets an extra yard or 2.
So Pat Lane, the leading receiver on this team, that was his 12th reception. He averages about 20 yards a catch, got 17 there.
There we go here.
Plenty of time. Stafford, picked off again. It's Chris Brown this time. And he's upended at about the 33-yard line. Another turnover as the pass was a little bit high over Lane's head, and it was picked off by Chris Brown.
How many times can you turn the ball over and still be in the football game?
That's the 4th turnover. 2 fumbles and 2 interceptions as you see Brown pick it off. He's a great athlete, and he made the catch and got some yardage. 1st and 10 from the 34. Larkin has had great field position most of the day, as they did the last time they met, and that was one of the big differences in the last game.
But they have to cash in sooner or later.
Here's Thomas right up the gut. Gets it to the 25, a pickup of close to 10 yards. Let's call it about 9 after the spot of the football. And it's going to bring up a great 2nd and 1 situation as Elgin's defense already in the 1st quarter has been out there a long time.
Oh, and it could very easily wear down versus this huge Larkin offensive line. They could be huffing and puffing. They're just going to try and have to suck it up here and come out with a moral victory.
Receivers to the far and near side, I formation backfield. Here's Thomas again off the right side. He's tripped up right over there.
Oh! They're saying he's down. They were saying he was down.
And that's going to be close. I don't think he got the first down, Joe, as he was tripped up by Pennington, who got into the backfield. There you see Rick Short, the tight end, a super player on this team, goes both ways. Caught a 62-yard touchdown pass last week against Elgin. Off a play he basically designed in class while he was kind of bored, Joe.
There he was, the professor.
We're under 15 seconds to go in the 1st quarter. This should be the final play. 7-0 our score. Larkin on top of Elgin. Royals looking for more. Here's Thomas off the left side. Not much there as Chris Van Stone, the first one in the backfield from the defensive tackle spot.
This defense is saving Elgin's life.
Along with David Spann from the linebacker spot. And that will do it for the 1st quarter. As our score after 1 from Memorial Field. Larkin on top of Elgin, 7-0. Don't go away. Stay tuned for 2nd quarter action right here on Jones Intercable's Game of the Week.
A salon should be more than just hairstyling. It should enhance your lifestyle while assisting in achieving a total image. Perfect Image in Wheaton is your total image salon. We offer everything to help you look your best, from manicures, pedicures, facials, makeup, and color analysis, as well as complete hairstyling. Perfect Image uses the finest hair care products like Vavoom and Matrix, makeup from Beauty for All Seasons, plus Jessica Nail Care. Let us help you create the image that brings out the beauty in you at Perfect Image in Wheaton.
Welcome back to Memorial Field. Our score after 1 quarter of play. Larkin on top of Elgin, 7-0. The big story in this one, Joe Snydoff, 4 turnovers in that 1st quarter from Elgin.
Yeah, 2 turnovers, but yet Larkin having trouble capitalizing on putting it back in the end zone. They're trying to put this Elgin team away, but the defense is just coming up big and big and big.
The only score up to this point, a 51-yard touchdown pass from Mike Rolando to Jim Schneider. The extra point was good from Todd Sinko, and that made it 7-0 with just 51 seconds gone in this ball game. And that came after the first play from scrimmage, an interception from Javon Stennis as he picked off a pass from Charles Stafford. Chris Brown also has an interception.
Fourth down.
The running back Ronnie Washington has 2 fumbles in this ball game. 4th and 1 from the 25. Larkin is going for it. I formation backfield. Check that. 3 men in the backfield. It's the wishbone. Here's Thomas sweeping. He's got the first down and more. Still on his feet. He's inside the 15, down to about the 11-yard line. A pickup of about 6 yards and a first down as the chains move along, as Larkin continues to move strongly down the field.
You know, when you have that 4th and a foot, that's when you can break that big play. Everybody's keyed up on the line of scrimmage, seeing if the quarterback's going to sneak it or not. And they knew what they were going to do. Krieger came in there, says, we're going to pitch it to Kendrick. Give me some good blocking on that outside. Timmy Lickner containing the defensive ends.
And they're running right behind right tackle Mark Hornok, the big 255-pound right tackle.
Fake.
Rolando.
He's got him.
Man, it's Lickner, incomplete in the end zone. Timmy Lickner had his hands on it. It may have just grazed his fingertips, but it's incomplete. And it'll go now 2nd and 10 from the 11.
Great play call. After Lickner did some of the fine blocking in the previous play, they send him out, isolated on the safety, Charles Stafford.
Well, when you can run the football, that opens up the play action. And Larkin's been extremely successful with that for the main reason because Kendrick Thomas has been so successful this year. 2nd and 10 from the 11. Here's Thomas off the left side, met right away. Nothing there as a wall of Elgin tacklers. Chris Van Stone along with Rob Getz, as well as David Spann. The linebacker comes up hobbling a little bit, and that was no gain. So it's 3rd and 10 now from the 11.
Oh, this is so crucial for the Elgin defense. Coach Stevens is hoping his club rises to the occasion, keeps them in the football game. Being down 10-zip after all these turnovers isn't that bad.
Could be much worse. They've got to hold on to the football, though. Rolando, straight drop, goes into the corner. It's caught by Chris Brown. Touchdown! Chris Brown made a juggling catch for an 11-yard touchdown. And it's now 13-0 Larkin.
Coach Stevens trying to tell the referee he was way out of bounds. Oh, I don't know about that one. See if our replay can pick that up. It's going to be tough to see. I know the ball was bobbled because of the defensive back.
Tough to tell. It's on the far sideline.
Tough to tell.
Carrington thought it was out of bounds.
He thought so, sure.
Todd Sinko's extra point is up, and it is good. So that makes it 14-0 with 10:41 left to go in the first half.
Carrington was very confident that the ball was out of bounds, that the man was out of bounds because he tipped it a few times. Brownie came down with it. Maybe he dragged a toe, maybe he didn't.
10:41 to go, first half. Our score, 14-zip. Larkin on top. And the Maroons definitely need to put some points on the board in a hurry.
Now Larkin can take some risks with their defense. They could blitz. Because I think, for the most part, I think Elgin's offense has been able to move the football.
They just haven't been able to punch it in, and they've had those costly turnovers as well. Ronnie Washington running into Stafford in the backfield. That should be uncalled for in the 11th game of the season. But as we mentioned, Washington did miss that last game against Streamwood and may have been a little rusty, a little confused on the play call or something. But that definitely hurt him as Larkin got great field position after that one.
Important thing for Elgin is to not hang their heads, keep the game into perspective, saying, hey, offense, we don't turn the ball over, we can cut this in half by the half, knot it up, send it in OT.
Here's Thomas's boot into the end zone, out of the end zone. And it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 20 after the touchback. Not much of a wind right now. We mentioned it was at about 15 miles per hour around game time. Now it's maybe 5 at the best, and it was at the back. But that didn't help very much. The kick from Kendrick Thomas, which went out of the end zone.
That was all Lake.
Dick Stevens got to be wondering here. We got to get going. It's 14-0. Elgin's got to be a little down after 4 turnovers in the first quarter. Kind of lucky to be down just 14-0. 3 men in the backfield for Elgin. Give us to the first man through, Rob Walker. And he struggles his way up to the 26-yard line, a pickup of 6. It'll bring up a 2nd and 4.
One thing written down, establish Walker the fullback. Crack him for a few 7 or 8 yard pops up the box. Might have a chance to freeze a few linebackers, a few safety people, isolate Kilgore, maybe Dyranicone on the outside, open it up a little bit.
A couple of sophomores in the backfield. Barry Evans along with DeAndre Bartee. Here's Stafford on the keeper, avoids one tackler, gets it up to about the 31-yard line.
Stafford on the keeper.
Chris Heiser in on the tackle along with defensive tackle Ray Pena, but he picked up about 5 yards, and it's good enough for a 1st down. Let's take a look at it again.
Now they're trying to work the option. You have Stafford gonna fake the pitch. He picks up about 4 yards for the 1st down.
And there you see Chris Heiser right in your living room making a tackle. 1st and 10 from the 32. Clock running, 9:51 to go. First half, 14-zip our score. Larkin on top.
Going the other way.
Stafford again. He pitches it this time, and it's Evans. He's hit right away at the 31-yard line. Not much of a pickup, and the marker goes down. That might be a late hit on Larkin.
It is.
Larkin a little too aggressive out there on defense. We'll have to see maybe who got the late hit. Yep. It'll go against Larkin.
Little break here. Oh, this was dangerous, wasn't it, Bob? This pitch?
Definitely a dangerous pitch. It could have been another fumble.
There it is. Watch this. He just sort of throws it out there, up for grabs in a way.
It was Ray Pena, actually, the last guy who got in there, who may have gotten flagged.
After the play, we had a late hit, helmet contact by the defense. 1st down.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 47 in Elgin territory.
Have to capitalize in the playoffs, ladies and gentlemen.
9.5 minutes to go. 3 men in the backfield, double tight ends. Gives to the first man, Walker the fullback. And he's into Larkin territory, down to the 49-yard line, a pickup of about 4. It'll bring up a 2nd and 6.
Tell you, Bob, it just makes the offense that much more dangerous when you can establish your fullback.
And Rob Walker is a strong runner. And he's also very quick.
Quiet, man.
He also plays the linebacker spot. He's 5'7", 160. He's a senior. And he does a good job in spot work for Coach Dick Stevens. This time it's Bartee, and he gets it to about the 47-yard line. He was tripped up in the backfield by Pena, but he managed to get a few yards forward, maybe a couple. It'll bring up a 3rd and 4 situation now, as Coach Dick Stevens has been forced to go to the sophomore ranks in the backfield because of injuries to LaBrian Carrington and Ronnie Washington. Again, full house backfield.
When you have to execute this play, you worked on it.
The wishbone. Stafford on the keeper. Goes to left side, breaks a tackle. Still on his feet down to the 35-yard line. A pickup of 12 and a 1st down. Chris Heiser in there on the tackle for the Royals.
Don't give double twos a running head start because they'll burn you. Watch the explosive speed by Charles Stafford right here. He drops about 8 yards back and then all of a sudden just turns on the jets.
He was avoiding tacklers left and right. Pennington also in there on that tackle. 1st and 10 from the 35 as Stafford showed some of that great 4.5 speed. The Los Angeles transfer who's done such a tremendous job this year for the Maroons. Here's Evans. Oh, they cleared it out. Super play. Great tackle by Ray Pena. Check that. It was DeAndre Bartee on that run instead, but he didn't get much. He got maybe a yard. It'll bring up a 2nd and 9, but Ray Pena with that super cat quickness made the tackle. Watch him string it out.
There was a ton of room on the other side. It was just you could see it right there on your screen. It was just grass.
Krieger calls Pena the key to that defense. Tremendous athlete. One of the best wrestlers in the state of Illinois. He wrestled this past summer in the Greco-Roman Junior Championships in Israel. The only wrestler to represent Illinois. Stafford, plenty of time. Over the middle. Great pass by Rick Short. Rick Short from the linebacker spot. Put a hand in there and tapped it away from Jay Kilgore. And it was incomplete. Look at it again as Short stretched out as far as he could and just got his fingertips on it.
Rick Short does everything for Larkin. There's a nice pass. Oh!
What
and then you have to finish him off. You have to finish him off. Make him think twice.
Now 3rd and 9 from the 34. 7:07, the clock's frozen at. Left to go in the first half. 14-0 our score. Larkin on top. Wishbone offense. Double tight ends. Here's the give. DeAndre Bartee gets around one man. He gets the first down to the 24-yard line. Bartee showed some great quickness and took out a Larkin coach on the sideline at the same time as Chris Brown had to angle him out of bounds, or else Bartee was gone for 6.
Oh, wow. It's going to be fun taking a look at this one again. Watch the blocking. Look at the holes.
Bill Swider out there.
Great call. Oh, that was just a great call, Bob, wasn't it?
It was. 1st and 10 from the 22. Clock at 7 minutes left to go. Elgin is driving. They need to get on the board and get a little confidence from the wishbone. Here's it again. Bartee fumbled the football. Recovered by Hornok. And Mark Hornok has recovered the football, I believe. Yes, he has. Larkin picks up his 5th turnover of the ball game.
Did he recover it?
As DeAndre Bartee fumbled the football, and Larkin has come up with it.
Oh. They tried the same play as the play before. Little trapping play. Oh, it was jarred off by Schneider.
Jim Schneider, a big hit, and he's been known for him. And another Elgin turnover. And Coach Dick Stevens pacing the sidelines, got to be pulling out what little hair he has left. 1st and 10 from the 23. 6.5 minutes to go, first half. 14-zip Larkin, they've got the football. Kendrick Thomas off the right side, not much there. Paul Pennington in there on the tackle. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, if that. Andy Poison, the nose guard, also there. And Ronnie Washington, the linebacker, is down. Check that, you're right. It's Rob Walker. And that is not what Elgin needs at this point.
No.
They have suffered some serious injury problems in the last week or so. But he gets up, and it's good news for Elgin fans. And as Coach Dick Stevens can get out of the game, Rob. Take a little break.
I'll tell you what. From what we've seen so far, this Elgin team has outplayed Larkin in terms of like moving the football, in terms of coming, playing solid defense, except for a couple big plays, the bomb and the maybe out of bounds call on the other side. They've moved the football. It's just been turnovers.
It's the Butterfingers out there.
It's just been turnovers, Bob.
Washington 2 fumbles. Bartee a fumble, 2 interceptions from Stafford, which led to both touchdowns. And Elgin finds himself trailing. Here's the counter play. No, it's a play action. They're looking for Short. Incomplete. Elgin did not bite that time. They had double coverage down there from Kotlinski. And Elgin did not bite on that one, and Stafford was down there as well. As the Larkin fans wanted a pass interference call, did not get it. So on the play action pass, that even fooled us. But it was incomplete. 3rd and 10 from the 23 for Larkin.
Well, this is another time The Maroons defense has an opportunity to get the offensive people jacked up.
Two receivers to the near side, I formation. Rolando, he's got Brown. Brown tries to get around him, and he can't do it. It's going to be short of the first down. Charles Stafford in there on the tackle. Chris Brown with those great moves and great instincts. They just gave him a quick little out pass, and then they said, hey, make a couple moves, get a first down. He couldn't get past Stafford, though. So it's going to bring up a punting situation, 4th and 2 from about the 28. Let's take a look again.
Good play here, gang tackling. You have to hold him back.
And Stafford would not let him go around him. And he pushed him out of bounds short of the first down, although they're going to bring out the chain gang. And according to the spot of the football, it's closer than we thought, Joe.
Andy Poison, too, was in there. Give him credit for that tackle. Stafford finishing up on the play.
Poison coming all the way over from the nose guard position. And it's actually only about a foot and a half, if that. So after a generous spot, still not enough for Larkin, and Kendrick Thomas will have to come on and punt the football. So Elgin will get the football back with a little bit over 5 minutes to go in the first half. If they can punch the football into the end zone, they'll have the momentum and be just down by a touchdown. But they need to do it. Can't talk about it anymore. They scored 14 points last week against Larkin. They've got to get something soon. The fumbles and the interceptions have hurt. 5 turnovers so far in the first half, 4 coming in the first quarter alone.
I'll tell you, Bob, be aware of the fake right here. You're up by a couple of scores.
It could be a backbreaker if it happens, but I don't look for it. Thomas standing at his own 18-yard line. He's going to punt it. Short
line drive. Let's see if he can take it on the big bounce.
It rolls out of bounds at the 28-yard line.
See where he marks it.
It's going to actually turn out to be about a 39-yard punt. No, it's even better than that. About a 42-yarder after the spot of the football is at the 27. So it'll be 1st and 10 from there for Elgin as they trail 14-0, 5:24 left to go in the first half.
Well, what do you think so far?
Elgin's moved the football well, but they've been coughing it up or throwing the interceptions. Larkin's looked good both on offense and defense, but not super. I mean, they haven't been super, but it's been the turnovers.
The running game is just about nil, the Royals' running game.
Kendrick Thomas, you're right, hasn't been much of a factor yet, but I wouldn't expect that to last all that long. As Elgin's defense has been out there a long time, and they've got to be tiring down. They've got about 5 guys going 2 ways. Here's Barty. Nice run up to about the 35, 36-yard line, a pickup of around 9 yards. And Jim Schneider along with Mark Hornok in there on the tackle. Pat Lane coming up a little, shaking up the tight end for Elgin. There you see him, 87, walking back slowly to the huddle. And they're going to say that was a gain just of 10 yards, just made it. So it's a 10-yard run for our DeAndre Barty, the sophomore, who's shown some great quickness. We've got a lot of quickness on all levels here at Elgin, Joe.
On the bench. That's incredible. That is incredible.
Carrington and Washington haven't run the football much. Here's a pitch. It's nice job of picking it up by Evans to Barry. Evans shows some great athletic ability just to hold on to that football. It's going to be a loss of 2 yards, but it was a bad pitch by Stafford. He should have kept it. And he picked it up on the move off the bounce.
They're also getting breaks, too.
Yeah. You know, even though they've lost 3 fumbles, Joe, they have fumbled the football more than that. They fumbled it around 6 or 7 times today, but they were lucky to get it back.
Oh, boy.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's going on.
Put some grease on that football, Larkin, or somebody did.
What they're going to have to do is they're going to have to try and fake a little bit, going to one side, try and get some isolation, some one-on-one with some speed. Like right here, we're going to see.
Stafford over the middle, incomplete, looking for Pat Lane.
Oh, it looked like there was sort of a, I don't know, it looked like the linebacker was riding him a little bit.
And that linebacker was Rick Short, number 22, who was in there on the coverage. Pass was intended for Pat Lane at about the 50. And you know, Joe, Elgin hasn't gone much at the wide receivers. All their passes have been geared toward the tight ends.
Well, they had Ronnie Washington, or that was LaBrian Carrington as a wide receiver on the outside on that last play. Didn't even really take a look at him. Sometimes you have to look off that first receiver, go to the secondary one. See, let's see right here. Now, here's a break.
Stafford. Picked off by Schneider. He's got blockers. He's going to go the distance. Jimmy Snyder's into the end zone, but a flag is down. And I believe because Schneider had all green pastures in front of him, but it's going to be a markers. There you see the call. It'll come back.
There was two guys around the intended receiver. Bob, on this play right here, Charles Stafford had number 86, Brian Clippert, open wide. Way in the back there, you couldn't see him in your screen. Little block below the waist, and that's why it'll come back.
So Larkin will have the football at Elgin's 45 as there is the 6th turnover of
the
this
waist
game.
on the run back. First down blue.
Walking below the waist to call. 3 interceptions and 3 fumbles have been recovered by Larkin. 6 turnovers in this first half. And Joe, it's just incredible. The score is only 14-0.
Yeah, technically they're still in the ball game.
4:07 left to go, first half.
The defense doesn't have their tongues hanging out by now.
It may take a bigger effect in the second half. Rolando back to pass, getting a big rush.
Pass protection.
Plenty of time, he's going to be sacked, though. Lakowitz throws him down. He better be careful. He's going to get a penalty. Lakowitz fired Rolando down to the turf, and that's a coverage sack because Rolando had all day back there to throw the football.
You hit it right on the head, Bob.
Take a look at it again. As Rolando was sitting back there, he could have eaten his lunch. There was good blocking. Kotlinski, check that, gets him first, and then Lakowitz took him down.
Took him down good, too.
Loss of 6 yards, clock moving, 3.5 minutes to go in first half. 2nd and 16 from Larkin's 49-yard line after Jim Schneider's interception. 6 turnovers in the first half for Elgin. Here's Thomas trying to get outside, gets around Walker. He's upended at about the 48-yard line in Elgin territory. Paul Pennington in there on the tackle. Pennington had 20 tackles in the Streamwood game. He's always around the football. A pickup of 4 yards. 3rd and 12. LaBrian Carrington also in there on the tackle.
I don't know how many times you can keep stressing this, but Maroon's defense has an opportunity to stop him here and get the ball back.
They've done their fair share of stopping Larkin this afternoon as the Royals will take a timeout. Bob Krieger will come on the field and talk to his quarterback, Rolando. And one of the keys also in this game is Elgin's done a nice job of shutting down Kendrick Thomas. The Royals' big back coming into this game with almost 1,300 yards rushing, 17 touchdowns, and he hasn't had much today at all, Joe, has he?
8 carries for only 28 yards.
It's tough to shut him down, though. He has scored a touchdown in every single game this season.
Oh, he could break one for 80. We've seen that a number of times on our game of the week.
Against Lake Park, he had a 95-yard touchdown run.
We've seen that.
He's got tremendous speed if he gets around one corner, and that's it. There you see it as Larkin fans awfully confident today. They've been rocking him in the first half. Our score, 14-0. The Royals on top of the Maroons, 6 turnovers. We can't mention that enough. 3 interceptions, 3 fumble recoveries. It's Chris Brown, Javon Stennis, and Jim Schneider have all picked off Charles Stafford passes. Coming into this game, Stafford had only thrown 2 interceptions all year, Joe. He's got 3 already today in the first half.
Watch the isolation down here with Stafford and Chris Brown.
At speed against speed.
Here it is.
Looking that way. Brown!
Oh,
incomplete. He had it in his hands as Stafford almost picked it off. You mentioned, Joe. Charles has 9 interceptions himself this year. A great defensive back. He's returned 2 for touchdowns, but he could not come up with that one. But Larkin will have to punt, and Elgin's defense holds again.
Boy, I'll tell you, this defensive coach, the coordinator, is going to be down there talking to a few of those backs and some of that, you know, Charles Stafford too. Where are you throwing the football, pal?
Thomas at his own 40. High
Boomer.
punt, a nice punt, Stafford. Oh, he's hammered right away by Rick Short, and a marker goes down. I did not see a fair catch call, Joe, did you?
I don't know if he just raised a hand real quick. Let's see if our replay picks it up.
That's a tough, boy, he was hit right away by Rick Short. And I did not see a fair catch call from Stafford, but obviously, according to the referees, he made one. Let's take a look again.
I don't know, you can't just sort of do it nonchalantly either.
Rick Short, the first man in there, just put a tremendous hit out there. Take a look.
Here's the booming punt. Now let's see when we get down here.
Can't see it at that point.
Didn't see anything.
I did not see it, and I was watching Stafford the whole time. And let's see what they're doing here. Let's hear the call. Goes against Larkin.
Oh.
It was what, a legal man downfield?
They're going to call.
It wasn't, the penalty was not on the hit, but the flag was so late, Joe. I mean, it was thrown right when the hit was made. That was a strange call.
That was a very strange call. Sort of almost in a way just saying, all right, we sort of made a mistake.
So, Larkin will kick again. This time, Kendrick standing at his own 23. And Elgin expects to get much better field position this time. Here comes a rush.
Sort of a line drive.
It's going to be taken by Stafford at his own.
Oh, what a block. Ooh, see if they set up the wall.
Side. Gets around the corner up to the 35-yard line. Actually caught that at his own 20 and returned it 15 yards. So Jim Schneider veered him out of bounds, and Elgin will take over actually after the spot of the football goes down at the 37-yard line. A return of 17 yards, 1st and 10, 2:23 to go first half as Elgin tries to get on the board and get some momentum back as they trail 14-0.
Some heavy-duty blocking on that punt. We'll see it right here. Goes to Stafford. Great block there by Tabari Evans on short. Tries to turn it, but then he just loses his footing. Back to live action.
Over the middle.
Tyrannicone.
Boulay Tyrannicone at the 39-yard line, a pickup of 12. Check that, it's up to the 46 instead. And it did not come up with that one, but Larkin will have to punt, and Elgin's defense holds again.
Boy, I'll tell you, this defensive coach, the coordinator, is going to be down there talking to a few of those backs and some of that, you know, Charles Stafford too. Where are you throwing the football, pal?
Thomas at his own 40. High.
Boomer.
Nice punt, Stafford. Oh, he's hammered right away by Rick Short, and a marker goes down. I did not see a fair catch call, Joe, did you?
I don't know if he just raised a hand real quick. Let's see if our replay picks it up.
That's a tough. Boy, he was hit right away by Rick Short. And I did not see a fair catch call from Stafford, but obviously, according to the referees, he made one. Let's take a look again.
I don't know. You can't just sort of do it nonchalantly either.
Rick Short, the first man in there, just put a
Who else would be in there?
Hit out there. Take a look.
Here's the booming punt. Now let's see when we get down here.
Can't see it at that point.
Didn't see anything.
I did not see it, and I was watching Stafford the whole time. And let's see what they're doing here. Let's hear the call. Goes against Larkin.
Oh.
It was what, a legal man downfield?
They're going to call.
It wasn't, the penalty was not on the hit, but the flag was so late, Joe. I mean, it was thrown right when the hit was made. That was a strange call.
That was a very strange call. Sort of almost in a way just saying, all right, we sort of made a mistake.
So, Larkin will kick again. This time, Kendrick standing at his own 23. And Elgin expects to get much better field position this time. Here comes a rush.
Sort of a line drive.
It's going to be taken by Stafford at his own.
Oh, what a block. Ooh, see if they set up the wall.
Side. Gets around the corner up to the 35-yard line. Actually caught that at his own 20 and returned it 15 yards. So Jim Schneider veered him out of bounds, and Elgin will take over actually after the spot of the football goes down at the 37-yard line. A return of 17 yards, 1st and 10, 2:23 to go first half as Elgin tries to get on the board and get some momentum back as they trail 14-0.
Some heavy-duty blocking on that punt. We'll see it right here. Goes to Stafford. Great block there by Tabari Evans on short. Tries to turn it, but then he just loses his footing. Back to live action.
Over the middle.
Tyrannicone.
Boulay Tyrannicone cone at the 39-yard line, a pickup of 12. Check that, it's up to the 46 instead. And it's in Larkin territory, so a nice pickup for Elgin. First down.
First and 10 for Elgin. The ball at the Larkin 46-yard line.
Clock moving around the 2-minute mark of the first half. 2 men in the backfield, pro set formation, receivers out to the near and far side. Stafford barks out the signal. 4-man line, here comes the blitz. Pena behind! Sack! Ray Pena, along with Jake Pritchett, as well as Jim Schneider in there for the big sack. Charles Stafford, and it's at the 48-yard line now. A loss of 5 yards, 2nd and 15. And there was a blitz.
Ooh, he felt that one too. You know, Charlie felt it.
He's got to be feeling it, playing two ways out there. He's got to be awfully tired, Joe. Lone setback is Rob Walker.
Offense is going to have to stay on the field, Bob, for the remainder of the half.
Two receivers, far side, one to the near. Stafford throwing it up. It's complete at the 31-yard line. David Spann out there, the junior. Check that, the senior makes the catch. And he picks up some nice yardage, 23 yards, and a first down. Watch it again.
Super grab, it was just, hey, who wants it?
Matt Rossborough was after it as well, and Chris Brown on the coverage.
He didn't turn around. Number one, it's a killer sin.
Here's the misdirection, nothing there. Mark Hornok and Ray Pena just buried Ronnie Washington, who came into the game, and that was a loss of yardage, about 3. And the clock is stopped at 42 as a timeout has been taken. So Dick Stevens out there on the field saying, come on, we got to get the football in the end zone. The 2nd and 13. Larkin's cheerleaders obviously happy at this point.
Well, the end zone would be a super momentum boost. But even if you could just pop the 3 on the board, and then you know if you come away with 3 in the second half somewhere down the line, you have a chance of tying it up with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
Larkin's defense
for turning the ball over six times.
Larkin's defense has done a great job. Joe mentioned 6 turnovers, 3 interceptions, 3 fumbles. And the Royals are digging in right here. The football's on their 34, 2nd and 13, 42 seconds to go in the first half. Charles Stafford running the show for Elgin. Pro set backfield. Deep drop. The screen, it looks like. Incomplete. They're looking for Washington. A big rush as Matt Rossborough just buried Charles Stafford, who's getting up awfully slowly as he looks to the sideline for the next play. So it's 3rd and 13 from the 34.
Well, on that particular play, Charlie dropped back about 10, 12 yards. Faked like he was going to the right. Arm faking, head faking, and then tried to dip it off to Washington, where they had the offensive line well out in front with the Larkin people on their backs.
Stafford has time. Scott! Oh, Kilgore dropped the pass at the 20. Jay Kilgore had the football right in his hands. He dropped the pass. Chris Brown was out there on the coverage. And boy, oh boy, that would have been a first down for Elgin, and just a tough loss right there for Elgin, dropping that football.
Ball a little bit behind him, but hit him in the hands.
Man, they haven't been able to hold on to that football all afternoon.
Just when they need the big play, they can't come up with it.
So they're going for it. 4th and 13. 2 receivers far side, 1 to the near.
He might hang it out to Spann. No, he's going to hang it out.
It's caught! A great catch by Elgin.
Wait a minute, how much time? 24.
Ronnie Washington made the catch.
Stafford's pass complete to number 30, Ron Washington.
What a great catch.
Oh, my God.
Take a look at it again. It was just in a crowd of receivers. There was double coverage down there. Watch Stafford hang it up and watch Washington come down with it. Wow.
Wow.
Down to the 3-yard line.
Oh, and the 3.
A pickup of 31 yards to Washington, making the catch out of the backfield, and that was a 4th and 13 play. And finally, Elgin comes up with a big play when they needed it, and Coach Krieger's got to be wondering how the heck did they catch that football?
On a couple of them, the one to Span up for grabs, now the one to Washington.
They come up with the 2 hard catches, and then Kilgore drops the easy one at the 20. You figure it out.
I'm not going to figure anything out. This is
6 turnovers, and they can be down by only 6 points if they put the football in the end zone and get the 2-point conversion. Is that incredible or what? They still have to do it, though. 24 seconds left in the first half. Our score is 14-0 Larkin, but Elgin is threatening 1st and goal from the 3.
Bob, they're going to have to go with their special play, the one that they worked on and practiced over and over and over again, just in case you get in the goal line situation. What play are we going to run? You're going to see it, folks, right here.
Wishbone offense. 3 men in the backfield.
Oh, it's a pass.
Stafford. He's rolling. He's going to put it up. Oh, it's intercepted. Now it's caught.
Lane, touchdown!
Pat Lane at tight end. What a catch.
Lane.
Chris Brown had an interception and let it go right through his hands. And finally, Elgin gets a break.
Unbelievable!
A 3-yard touchdown pass to Pat Lane. And there's just 16 seconds left in the first half. Our score is 14-6. Larkin on top. Let's look at it again.
Stafford rolling, throwing, almost intercepted. Touchdown!
And Chris Brown has got to be kicking himself. They're going to go for the extra point kick. Enrico LaPrairie, high snap. The kick is up, though, and it is good. So with 16 seconds left to go in the first half, Elgin is on the board, trailing just by a touchdown. 14-7 after turning over the football 6 times in this first half, and it should have been 7 right there as Chris Brown had an interception right in his hands. Let go of it.
Bob, talking to you earlier in the week, you mentioned throw out the records, the statistics, what they did in their previous games. This is the high school football playoffs. This is a civil war, a revenge match for the Maroons. The second meeting for these two teams that just simply hate each other. 6 turnovers for one team. The score is only 14-7.
Thomas and Schneider back to receive for the Royals.
Larkin will get the football back with 16 seconds to go in this first half. And Larkin, even though they have gotten 6 turnovers, even though they're going to probably have the lead going in, they cannot be happy with the way things are at this point.
No.
They should be up by 4 touchdowns.
All the momentum in the world is with the Maroons.
Enrico LaPrairie getting ready to boot it from his own 40-yard line. Elgin will also get the football back first in the second half. So this game by no means over, 14-7. It's a squib kick. It's going to be picked up by Tim Lickner at the 40-yard line. And he's met right over there. Roderick Ash, along with Chris Savino in there on the tackle. And Larkin will have 12 seconds to work with here. And a 14-7 lead with the football on their own 41-yard line. 1st and 10.
1st and 10 for the Royals, ball on their own 41-yard line.
Larkin will take a timeout. They are not going to give up here and sit on the football, I don't think, Joe. They want to get some more points. Maybe they can throw the football up, get a pass interference penalty, and have another play and get it into the end zone.
I know, there's only one Hail Mary.
The interesting thing is, though, Joe,
this is the half right here on this play.
This Elgin team has not beaten Larkin. These Elgin seniors on any level. The Larkin seniors have only lost 1 game as a unit. They were undefeated their freshman and sophomore years, winning conference titles. And this year their only loss was in overtime to St. Charles. And this Elgin team, Paul Pennington is the only senior out there. Yes, he's enjoying the game. But Pennington is the only senior, Joe, on this Elgin team that has beaten a Larkin team on the varsity level, and he did it when he was a sophomore, playing on the varsity. So
I let him talk a little bit at half.
Yeah.
I let the seniors talk at half on both sides. And it'll be interesting to see how the Royals come out.
Let's see what Larkin does here. High formation. They're going to go to Schneider. He's going to try to get out of bounds. He does. Nope, he did not get out in time.
That'll do it.
He picked up 12 yards. And wait a minute, did he get out or didn't he? We're going to say no, that's it. Wait a minute, the referee.
That'll do it.
That's it. The half is over. Our score, 14-7. Some of the Larkin fans booing a little bit. I think they're booing the referee, not their own team, as here they are on
What a half.
14-7, our score. Wow, we've got 24 minutes more of exciting football action coming up shortly on Jones Intercable's Game of the Week. Stay tuned.
Augustino's, great food for a great time.
Augie makes the pass. It's one of his delicious mammoth sandwiches. Augie cooks everything up for the big appetite, like their party-size super subs and deli sandwiches. Treat your team to the best. Tackle one of Augustino's great pizzas with all the fixings. So team up with a winner, Augustino's Rock and Roll Deli on the corner of Schmally and St. Charles Road in Carroll Stream.
Who's got the best deli in the West?
Augustino's.
Look, you gotta help me. My baby's dying.
All right, sir. We're on our way.
Wrench. Screwdriver. Where?
Got to her just in time.
Cavelli's A1 service. Randall and Galena in Aurora.
You're not the only one that can't stand the heat. Your transmission's not too fond of it either. Extreme heat can cause a number of drivetrain problems. At J&J Transmission Rebuilders in Carroll Stream, you'll find certified drivetrain specialists. Foreign or domestic, front or rear-wheel drive, stick shift or automatic, even a mobile home. J&J Transmissions will treat both you and your wallet with respect. And we honor most dealer and extended warranties. So beat the heat. Call J&J Transmissions in Carroll Stream at 665-7373 for the solution to your transmission needs.
If lunchtime has become a bit too routine, come to the Old Main Inn and kick that routine. Enjoy yourself in one of Wheaton's favorite eating and drinking establishments where friends meet friends. Daily lunch specials, Sunday brunch, and house favorites like the Old Main Inn's rib platter and fresh fish daily. Or for big appetites, they're all beef burgers and Friday fish fries. If you've got a taste for something different, stop in at the Old Main Restaurant. Minutes from downtown Wheaton. Come in with an appetite, leave with a smile.
You've had a car accident. You've called your insurance company. Now the headache really starts. You don't have time to get 3 estimates, especially when you only need 1.
Masterworks in Wheaton can get that estimate and work with it. We'll take you through the steps, process your claim, and provide immediate rental car on site to get you back on the road in no time. Why call Masterworks? This will work for you.
Welcome back to Memorial Field. We are just about ready for second half action. Our score 14-7. Larkin on top of Elgin. Shortly we will show you the highlights, some of them at least, from the first half. But as we are ready for second half action right here, Elgin will kick it off in their maroon helmets, predominantly white uniforms.
Hold on to your seats for this half. Hold on.
Larkin will receive in their predominantly blue jerseys and helmets, gray pants. Enrico LaPrairie's boot. Jim Schneider at his own 7. Right up the middle. He gets it out to about the 26-yard line where Larkin will take it over 1st and 10. And Elgin is fired up. They scored with 16 seconds left to go.
Stevens fired up.
And they have the momentum.
It seems Stevens streaking down the sidelines, trying to meet some of his suicide squad.
I think he wanted to make the tackle down there, but didn't have the pants on. His eligibility's up, though, I think, isn't it?
I don't know. You see how he gets in those practice sessions. I'm sure he wants to make a few tackles. Here we go.
10. Mike Rolando runs the show for Larkin. He has an I formation backfield. Kendrick Thomas in there with Chris Heiser.
Quick hitter.
It's incomplete, looking for Jimmy Schneider at about the 35. LaBrian Carrington on the coverage. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from that first half, just recapping the score. Instead, we'll just tell you about them. A 49-yard touchdown pass just 51 seconds into the game from Mike Rolando to Jim Schneider in the first quarter, made it 7-0. That was it for the scoring in the first. In the second quarter, there you see Javon Stennis. His interception actually set up that play, which here it is. Watch this pass. Great catch by Jim Schneider. That was the first score. Let's go back to live action now, where we face a 2nd and 10 situation.
Oh!
Rolando on the roll.
Couldn't quite drag him down. Pressure by Walker.
He's sacked now. He throws it away. Let's see. Are they going to give a marker? No, they're going to say he was sacked.
He was sacked.
They're going to say he was sacked. Rob Walker was in there, along with Chris Van Stone, and Rolando a little shaken up. So you saw the highlight over there. The first touchdown of the ball game. This is Elgin's score right before the half. Watch this. Chris Brown should have picked this ball off. Oops! Pat Lane makes the catch into the end zone. That makes it 14-7, which is where we stand right now. 11 minutes to go, third quarter. Larkin on top and the football at their own 18-yard line, facing a 3rd and 16.
Oh, boy. Give all the credit in the world to this Elgin defense. They've shown up.
I formation backfield. Rolando on the play.
Heavy
action.
blitz.
Puts it up for grabs. Tipped up in the air. And it was almost picked off. They were looking for Jimmy Schneider. But Chris Kotlinski almost came up with the pick. But it's going to be 4th down, and Larkin will have to kick.
They came out, made the hits on the special teams. Quiet man got a sack on Rolando. They came with the heavy rush. Forced them to just throw it up for grabs. Kotlinski and David Spann came in there and broke it up. And now they're going to get the ball. And this Maroons offense, Bob, has been moving the ball at will. 190 yards of total offense. Here's the ball just thrown up for grabs. Couldn't get it.
Back to live action. Thomas on the punt.
Line drive,
low liner. And it takes a high bounce, and to Barry Evans. Check that. Yeah, to Barry Evans.
That was dangerous.
DeAndre Barty instead made the catch, and boy, that was dangerous.
Almost like a fly ball where you have to call it.
And he ran right into Charles Stafford, and the sophomore may get a few words in the huddle.
Oh, yeah. Charlie, 5 of 9 in the first half for 87 yards, a couple big strikes to Ronnie Washington and Pat Lane. All together on the ground, 103 yards. Some fantastic running by DeAndre Barty, also Roger Gash and Ronnie Washington.
So Charles Stafford runs the show. Pro set backfield, 1 receiver to the near side. Double tight ends. Here's Carrington off the right side, running hard.
Good game.
And he looks like he got into Larkin territory, maybe. Now they're going to spot it at the 49 in Elgin territory. Pickup of about 5. Now they're going to push it in the Larkin territory, if they can make up their minds out there. The pickup of 6 yards, 2nd and 4.
49-yard line.
Under 10 minutes to go, third quarter. Elgin, great field position. They have a chance to tie this football game up. And that's just incredible, considering they had 6 turnovers in the first half, 3 interceptions, and 3 fumbles. Larkin hasn't turned over the football all day yet.
Should keep it on the ground here.
They do. And it's Carrington. He gets it to about the 41-yard line. Matt Rossborough in there on the tackle for Larkin, along with Ray Pena. And a nice pickup there. Let's watch Carrington. It doesn't look like he's got a thigh bruise, but he's really running well.
Watch the blue open up. Tons of room. Carrington running hard, lowering the shoulder, getting up and celebrating.
He's fired up, as is Elgin. You can imagine Dick Stevens had a pretty inspirational speech in the locker room at the half, as did probably Bob Krieger. Pro set backfield. Great fake. Washington nowhere. That was clogged up in a hurry. Mark Hornok in there, along with Chris Heiser, as well as Dan Cargill. And it was a pickup of 1 yard for Washington. 2nd and 9 from the 40. Clock rolling with under 9 minutes to go. Third quarter, 14-7 our score. Larkin on top. Let's take a look at the first half summary in this ball game. We'll get that to you after this play. It's a 2nd and 9 situation from the 40-yard line. Pro set backfield. Here's Washington. It's got some
good blocking.
He rips it out to about the 32-yard line. A pickup of 8 yards. The blockers are out there in front. Matt Rossborough along with Javon Stennis down there. To force him out of bounds, but a pickup of 8 yards. And that's going to bring up about a 3rd and 2 situation. There you see it in the first quarter. 51 seconds into the game, 49-yard touchdown pass from Rolando to Schneider. That was all the points in the first quarter. In the second quarter, it made it 14-0. Chris Brown making the catch from 11 yards made it 14-0. And just before the half, Stafford hit Lane for the TD. And it's 14-7, which is where we stand right now.
Up the middle.
Straight up the gut goes Stafford to the 25. He's got a first down. A pickup of 6 yards. And Elgin is moving the football on the ground.
They're establishing that running game, and when you do that, you get that play action going. Larkin they tried it it connected on the first time, but nobody bid on it after that. Thomas has been shut down. They shut down Kendrick Thomas, forcing Rolando to throw.
No one has shut down Thomas like this since the first game against Wheaton North when he rushed for only about 50 or 60 yards.
Another nice fake.
Nothing there for Carrington. Pitches it back, but they blew the whistle. They blew the whistle. Carrington did a little improvisation out there and saw when he was stacked up, decided to pitch it back to Stafford, but the whistles blew. And it's going to be a loss of 5 yards. It'll bring up a 2nd and 15 from the 30.
But you can just tell by that play right there, of course they blew the whistle, that the running backs and the quarterback have a special kind of relationship with one another on the field. They know where each other's at. They know how to block. The split veer option, they've been running this for years, and they're running the football effectively. That's why they're in this football game, because they're just shoving it down Larkin's throat.
They do have some good rapport in that backfield between Stafford, Carrington, and Washington. They're all good friends.
Nice screen.
Washington, he's got some room in front of him, and he's caught upended by Kendrick Thomas at the 25-yard line. That looked like there was going to be a bigger gain, but it only picked up 5 yards. It'll bring up a 3rd and 10 situation. Let's look at it again. There was big yardage, it looked like, but they shut it down.
It was a nice screen. You see Charlie just rolls out a little that one way. Stafford's got a lot of room, but they collapse on him. That's
the problem was, Joe, the blockers did not get out there. Pennington and Abello on the right side did not get out there quick enough, and Washington didn't wait for him, or else it might have been a bigger gain. 2 receivers near side, I formation backfield. 3rd and 10 from the 25.
Watch him to go this way here,
Stafford
Bob.
rolling. He's got time, throws it up. Kilgore! Did he make the catch and bounds?
Yes, he did.
Yes, they say he made it at about the 12-yard line. And that's going to be good enough for a first down. Take a look at it again. It was close. I believe Kilgore got a foot in bounds. Up with that big catch after
and the 2 wide receivers, you know he's going that way. All alone.
They took
referee right on top of the play.
Seemed just like a pick play as Lane went on the inside, picked off sort of the defensive man covering Kilgore, and it left him wide open. 1st and 10 from the 12. Receivers to the near and far side. Pro set backfield. Washington with it. On the trap up the middle. He's taken down inside the 5-yard line to about the 4. A pickup of around 7 yards. It's going to bring up a 2nd down situation and very short. They're going to give him 9 after the spot of the football and call it 2nd and 1. Watch the trap blocking.
Great trap blocking as the Maroons are just mashing their way towards pay dirt.
You saw 65 Phil Swider pop out there and trap. It left a huge gaping hole in that defense. 2nd and 1 from the 2. Stafford on the keeper. Touchdown! Charles Stafford on the keeper. Takes it in from the 2-yard line. And with 5:49 to go, 3rd quarter, it's now Elgin trailing by 1 at 14-13.
What a great series of play calling by Coach Dick Stevens and his offensive coordinators.
So Enrico LaPrairie attempts to tie up this ball game.
Big extra point.
14-13. He had 1 blocked last week. This kick is up, however, and it is good. So we have a tie ball game, a brand new ball game with 5:49 left to go in the 3rd quarter. And let's take a look at Charles Stafford taking this one into the end zone on the keeper. There he is.
Spinning and driving.
And it was Hornok who had him, but he kept the feet moving, and he went into the end
chopping, they're chopping, you keep chopping. It's the leg drive, you have to keep them chugging.
And Elgin has chopped the Larkin lead away. It was 14-0 at one point. It's now 14-all. It is this battle. I don't think the town jug is involved in this one, Joe. I think this is the first meeting ever between these two teams in the playoffs. Larkin holds a 15-13 series advantage dating back to 1962.
Oh, man, what a game.
Great crowd on hand. Upwards near 5,000.
Squib kick.
And Rick Short, it goes over his head. Schneider having trouble with it. Still on the floor. And Thomas picks it up. Van Stone crushed him, though. And he's down at the 10-yard line. Chris Van Stone, number 52, the junior, just put on a crushing hit on Kendrick Thomas as Larkin could not come up with that squib football. It went over Short's head. Schneider couldn't corral it, and then finally Thomas picked it up and couldn't take it anywhere. And the momentum is totally shifted to Elgin's side. The Maroons fans going crazy. And Larkin has the football in terrible field position at their own 11, 1st and 10.
Well, Larkin's just sort of laying down. They have to start raising some of those hands, saying, let's go offensive line. Come on now, open some holes.
Here's Thomas. He breaks one tackle before being jarred down at the 13-yard line. LaBrian Carrington from the cornerback spot shoved Thomas down to the turf after a pickup of only 3 yards. So it'll be 2nd and 7 from the 14.
Watching Coach Stevens on the other sideline, you've seen him after that football kickoff. He's just waving. Go on out there. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep smacking them.
4:45 left to go, 3rd quarter. Tie ball game at 14. Everyone expected this one to be close. Thomas again, this time left side, thrown down in a hurry. Jason Ackman, the junior. Dave Spann also in there on the tackle. And Thomas hasn't found much daylight all day long, and he didn't get very much there at all. Pickup of maybe 3. It'll bring up a 3rd and 3 from the 17.
Both hits on Kendrick Thomas have been textbook tackles. Driving legs. Up, lifting the man up, and then putting him on his back.
Thomas again, this time to the near side. Breaks the tackle, he's got the 1st down and a little bit more as LaBrian Carrington and Rob Walker made the tackle. But Thomas showing that tremendous ability to shed tacklers, did it again, and on his 2nd effort got the 1st down. Let's take a look at it again and see who he bounced off of this time. There it is right there.
Watch Carrington finish it up.
Carrington is playing some fired-up football out there on both sides of the football.
Were those the toughest 10 yards you ever seen by Kendrick Thomas?
He definitely had to earn those. Well, Larkin keeps the sticks moving at the 23, 1st and 10. Clock moving, 3.5 minutes. Movement on the left side, Ackman jumping. And Kendrick Thomas goes off the left side. No markers down, though. He got back in time. And Thomas picks up maybe 2 or 3 yards. I want to say he picked up 4 after the spot of the football. It'll bring up now a 2nd and 5 situation. They give him 5. So it's at the 28-yard line. Clock moving, 3 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Tie ball game at 14.
Well, Larkin trying to establish their running game. What brought him here? What brought you to this point right now? Was it your pass? No, it was your run. It was your offensive line.
Larkin likes to mix it up, both run and pass, while Elgin generally runs the football 80% of the time. Here's Heiser, big hole! Finally met out there in the secondary by the linebacker, Dave Spann. But a nice pickup out there of close to 10 or 12 yards. And a 1st down, though. So the chains move along.
Look at the blocking on the line right there. Every play just so crucial in this game. Tensions are high.
14-14, 2.5 minutes to go. 3rd quarter. In motion, Kendrick Thomas. Give us to Heiser, the fullback, off the left side this time. Gets it to about the 43, maybe 44-yard line. Got a couple, if that. It'll bring up a 2nd and 9 situation. They spotted at the 43.
That was sort of a Naperville North kind of play where you got Bill Karosik running around in the backfield as you have Kendrick Thomas.
Or Naperville Central, they used Brian Redman that way. But that time, Kendrick didn't get the football.
No, you just handed it right up the middle to Heiser, or like to your fullback, whoever that may be.
And you can use Thomas as a decoy because he's so effective running the football. Here he is again in motion that same way. And this time he doesn't get the pitch. Schneider on the counter. Not much yardage there. He gets it to about the 49. Paul Pennington in there on the tackle. Now they're going to spot it at the 47 instead. It'll bring up a 3rd and 6 situation. Mike Rolando waiting for the next play from his tight end, Rick Short, as he calls the signals to his team. Late 3rd quarter, 1:20 left. We've got a tie ball game at 14.
Watch out for that play action pass again. You have the power eye.
Definitely a running situation, but they just made play action. It's been so successful for them. Gotten 2 touchdowns for him against Elgin in this last week.
No,
not this time though. They've got Ed Snyder. He's got the first down. Boy, did they give him a cushion over there. No one was near him for about 5-6 yards, and Elgin's got to play tight. When you're facing a 3rd and 2 situation, it's a first down. Let's look at it again, see if we can see where the nearest defensive back was for Elgin. Look at that. You can't even see him in your picture over there.
Wow.
Way off the football.
Carrington was 1.5 miles.
Carrington has to respect some speed out there because he's injured himself. Oh boy, what a buffer. He's got another about 10-yard buffer on the side here. Heiser's in motion to the far side. 1st and 10. Here's the pitch. Thomas sweeping left side. He's got some room out there. He gets it inside the 45 down to about the 42. A pickup of close to 8 yards. And Andy Poison from the nose guard position made the tackle. That'll bring up a 2nd and 1 after the spot of the football at the 31.
Thomas's longest run from the line of scrimmage yet.
He's had a tough afternoon, earned every single yard he's gotten because Elgin has done a nice job of keying on him. Coach Stevens told us this week that they would key on him along with Chris Brown as an exciting 3rd quarter comes to an end. Our score after 3, Elgin and Larkin tied up at 14. We'll be back with 4th quarter action right here on Jones Intercable TV.
For Augustino's, great food for a great time.
Augie Mix to Pass, it's one of his delicious mammoth sandwiches. Augie cooks everything up for the big appetite, like their party-size super subs and deli sandwiches. Treat your team to the best. Tackle one of Augustino's great pizzas with all the fixings. So team up with a winner, Augustino's Rock and Roll Deli on the corner of Schmally and St. Charles Road in Carroll Stream.
Who's got the best deli in the West?
Augustino's!
All right, welcome back to Memorial Field. Bob Urzik alongside Joe Snydoff. Don't touch that dial. We've got a tremendous ball game. Elgin and Larkin in the crosstown battle to stay alive in the IHSA Class 6A playoffs. All tied up at 14. The only score in that 3rd quarter came at the 5:49 mark left in that period. A 2-yard touchdown run. The quarterback keeper from Charles Stafford tied it up after the extra point from Enrico LaPrairie was good. And we've got a 14-all ball game, but Larkin is threatening. They have the football on the 31-yard line. Mike Rolando calling the signals. Kendrick Thomas on the run. Not much yardage there, but he continues to struggle. He was hit early on by Tom Lakowitz and Chris Van Stone. But he kept the feet moving and picked up a few yards. Good enough for the first down, so the chains move along. And it's 1st and 10 right at the 26-yard line.
Almost looked like the exchange from Orlando to Kendrick Thomas was a little off balance right there. And then Thomas was getting the ball swiped at by Paul Pennington. Gonna be hacking at it. Watch for the hacks.
Thomas again. He's got some yardage, cuts it against the green. He's inside the 15-yard line, down to about the 14. And another first down. A pickup of about 12 on that carry. That was the best carry for Kendrick Thomas so far this afternoon. And Joe, we've got to remark that Larkin's offense has been flawless turnover-wise, none yet. While Elgin, on the other hand, it's incredible to think they've had 6 turnovers. We've got a tie ball game at 14. We got to see if the defense is tiring now.
We'll see if that offensive line wears on them, and they went to the running game, Bob. They didn't go to the pass.
This will tell the story this quarter. If Elgin's defense is tired, this has been a long drive for Larkin. Here's Thomas
really
sweeping.
strung it out.
He strung it out. He's taken down for a loss of yardage. A loss of about 3 yards. The man in there was Andy Poison from the nose guard position. And Kendrick's got to be a little bit frustrated as Larkin gets ready for the next play. As you see Tim Lickner, the tight end, bring it in. There's 10 minutes, 40 seconds to go in the ball game. Tied up at 14. 2nd and 11 situation from the 16-yard line for the Royals. High formation, power I. Thomas the running back, Heiser the fullback. Receivers out to the far side. Rolando audibleizing at the line of scrimmage, it looks like. Back to pass.
Big pass
again. Over the middle, he's got him in. It's dropped though. Jim Schneider took his eye off the football. He was looking to run with it before he even caught it, and it cost him. Incomplete, 3rd and 11 now from the 16.
Hit it right on the head, Bob. Had it right in his hands.
And he's got good hands, as we saw from that touchdown catch he made in the first quarter. But he took his eye off the football, and Coach Dick Stevens wondering if his defense is going to hold here.
And again, Carrington, a big buffer zone.
That would have been a nice gain for Larkin if Schneider could have come down with it. 3rd and 11, passing situation, offset I. Heiser in motion
Somebody's
now.
going to have to pick him up.
Kendrick with the football sweeping outside. Nothing there. A big hit down there for Elgin. Jason Ackman was in there covering him, as was LaBrian Carrington, who came up with the big hit and a loss of yardage. It's going to bring up a 4th and 11, and Larkin is going to bring on Todd Sinko, I think, to attempt the field goal. Yep, he's coming on. We saw him practicing.
33-yard attempt.
33 yards. This is definitely in Sinko's range. Here's
he's off balance doing it, too.
It's short. It's going to be short, I think. Nope, it's off to the right. No good. Sinko misses it. It looked like there was some mistiming on the line.
Sinko was out of sync.
Totally. He was waiting there. The football was already down. And he blew it wide right. So it's still tied up at 14. How about that?
They just didn't have the timing down. It wasn't like, okay, I'm going to snap it on 4. Boom. You know, that's when you get up there and nail it.
Almost looked like a quick snap.
Really? The center just went up there and snapped it.
9:29 left to go in the ball game. We're still tied at 14. It's 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line for Elgin. Pro set backfield. Stafford gives to the first man through Washington, but a marker is down.
Looks like it might be an illegal motion.
We'll wait and see what the call is from our referee today, Bill Laud. And it is illegal procedure. So it'll be a 5-yard penalty and make it 1st and 15, Joe. And one thing we haven't mentioned so far today, we've got to give some credit out to the center, the sophomore center for Elgin, Clement McCullough. They have run the football so well, and I guess that's the best thing you can say about a lineman. You say nothing because he's done his job and done a great job at it today.
Both lines, offensively and defensively for Elgin and Larkin, have been holding their own.
So a 1st and 15 after the illegal procedure for Elgin at their own 15.
2 wideouts.
High formation backfield, 2 wideouts to the near side, and that's the way.
Who breaks off?
It's caught. It's complete to Carrington across to the 24-yard line. A pickup of 9 yards. So it's going to bring up a 2nd and 6 situation now.
You almost have 3 wideouts when you have Boulay, Diana Cone, Jay Kilgore, and then you throw a LaBrian Carrington in there, and they just flood that zone. You'll see it right here. Somebody breaks off and they hit the short man. Then they try and set up the block with Diana Cone or Kilgore, the guy whoever breaks off the pattern. One's going on a post and one's just doing a slant.
Elgin just playing a fantastic ball game. Be even in it. 6 turnovers. Keeper up the middle. Stafford gets it up close to the 30-yard line. That's going to be close to a first down. I don't know if he got a great spot on that one. It's going to be short, I think. I believe maybe by a foot or two. It's going to be 3rd and 1. Ball on the 29-yard line.
That was an interesting play right there before. It almost looked like the rest of the offensive line didn't move. It was just Stafford in the center going at it.
Running behind Clement McCullough, the 5'9", 250-pound sophomore.
Big play!
Crowd's on his feet. Pat Lane, a tight end in motion, near side. And here's the give, stacked up. I don't know if he got it. I don't know if Elgin got it.
He got it.
It's going to depend on the spot of the football. I think he did. You're right, Joe. They put the football, the nose hanging close to the 31-yard line, and the Maroons get the first down.
That was one big yard there by Ronnie Washington.
So the drive continues for Elgin. Clock is rolling at 7.5 minutes.
They want to milk it. Milk it, score and milk it.
7.5 minutes to go. The winner of this one faces an unenviable task, that is. Probably to play the winner of East St. Louis Senior. Ouch. But it's going to be an Elgin. Nice running. Great running by Ronnie Washington. You'd never know he had a stress fracture. He gets it up to the 36-yard line. A pickup of 5, so it'll be 2nd and 5 with 7 minutes to go in this ball game, 14 all.
Interesting, Bob, that both teams in the last quarter doing what they do best, running the football. You have Larkin, they take Kendrick Thomas, and all of a sudden start plowing him forward. Then all of a sudden, Elgin takes the football, starts plowing Ronnie Washington forward.
Got to go with what you went with to the dance, so to speak. And they've gone with running. And that's what they're doing here.
Oh,
Stafford on the keeper. He's got some blocking in front of him. Strung out to the side. Still on his feet. Gets it up close to the 40-yard line. It's going to be a pickup.
About 2 or 3.
Schneider in there on the tackle. Got it out to the 40. They're going to need about 5. Check that, 4 for the first down. 3rd and 4 at the 30. Let's see, stepped out of bounds at about the 37. So it's 3rd and 4.
Could be the biggest play right here.
Here's the give, right up the middle. Walker! Oh. He didn't get it, though.
He didn't.
A tremendous second effort, but I still think he came up short.
Oh, boy, what do you do here?
They stopped Rob Walker right at the line of scrimmage. Oh, my goodness, they're going to say he got the first down. Oh, my goodness.
First down?
Man, it didn't look like he even was close to that. Got a great spot, I guess. Let's look at it again. Couldn't see it there very much. But they say Elgin got the first down, so great break there for the Maroons.
Man's first carry in the second half results in a Maroons first down.
Wishbone offense. Stafford on the keeper.
hole if he wants it.
Goes around the end, and he's veered out of bounds by Kendrick Thomas at about the 45-yard line.
About 4.
They're going to give him 5 after the spot of the football. Call it 2nd and 5 now from the 45. It's getting dark in Elgin. The lights are on. 3:45 Central Daylight Savings Time, but the weather forecast calls for rain, and it's awfully cloudy, and it's getting dark, and it's getting chillier. It was in the 60s at game time, but it's supposed to drop to the 40s.
And it's getting dark and rainy because of a big snow front over the state of Colorado.
Boy, you've been watching the Weather Channel, haven't you? Here's Washington, still on his feet. He's going to be close to a first down. Ronnie Washington, he had both hands on the football. He fumbled it twice earlier in this game, and it hurt Elgin.
You're going to have to bring him out for this one. Bring him out.
But that time, Washington held on with it with both hands. He didn't want to let go of that loaf of bread. And it's going to be awfully close to the first down.
They want to score and milk it.
Elgin has been awfully impressive. They have played with tremendous heart this afternoon. They've come into this game injured. 3 of their top players that go 2 ways have been forced to have those guys play one way. And they did get the first down. They have 6 turnovers, but their defense has come up big, stopping Larkin's offense on a number of occasions. And the ball game's tied up at 14. This is kind of a similar situation to back in '87, Joe, when Elgin lost a couple of times during the regular season. They lost to Streamwood and then they lost to Lake Park, but then came back into the playoffs and beat both those teams.
Right.
This time they lost to Larkin on the final weekend of the season, and here they've got a shot to upset.
Tough to beat
the
somebody
Royals.
twice. Here we go, Carrington.
He avoids the tackler, still on his feet. He's trying to get to the 40-yard line. Look at that heart. Look at that heart as he kept the legs moving all the way down to the 40-yard line. A pickup of 9 yards.
Carrington carried him.
Carrington had 2 or 3 tacklers on him, and he refused to go down. A pickup of 9 yards.
Carrington carried him.
Elgin is playing with vigor out there. Look at this run. Man, look at him avoiding the tacklers. There's Cargill all over him. Here's Stennis trying to get him down. They can't get him down, and finally they do.
Full house backfield. Oh,
Here's
watch
the
out!
big blitz from Heiser. He throws it away. There's the marker. It's a good call. Chris Heiser on the blitz.
Why did they do this?
On a big play, Stafford intentional grounding, threw the football away. And Larkin came on the blitz, and that is going to be a tremendously large loss for the Maroons.
Why did they go to the air? You tell me, Bob.
Oh my goodness. It was a 2nd and 1 situation.
Why did they go to the air?
Whoa.
3rd and 19.
3rd and 19 now. Football. That was a loss of 18 yards.
Why did they go to the air?
That's going to be a question for Coach Dick Stevens. 3rd and 19. Oh, it was almost picked off by Jim Schneider. If he picks it off, he's got 6 the other way. Well, it'll be 4th down. Elgin will be forced to punt with 4:21 left to go. In the 4th quarter, our score is 14-14. We might be staring in the face of overtime. They were facing a 2nd and 1 situation, weren't they, Joe?
You were just mentioning. Go with what brought you here.
Pennington,
almost
short
blocked.
punt.
Let's see. Uh-oh. See what kind of bounce it takes.
It's going to take an Elgin roll, though. It's going to go inside the 20 to about the 19-yard line.
Why would they mark it there?
40-yard punt. They're going to mark it at the 19.
They're going to mark it back up there.
So Larkin has to go. 82 yards for a touchdown. However, they can kick a field goal and win this ball game with 4:09 left to go. As you can see, it's getting dark here in Elgin. Threat of rain in the air. The lights are on at Memorial Field. The winner advances to play. The winner of the East St. Louis Senior, East St. Louis Lincoln ball game right here in Elgin. Quick pass to Brown. He's going to be thrown out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. Charles Stafford on the tackle there. A pickup of 7 yards.
Keep the clock moving. He did not get out of bounds on that play. He did not get out of bounds.
It'll be a 2nd and 6 after they spotted it. Looked like he got out of bounds to me. They're rolling it, though. You're right.
Sometimes when they hit inbounds and then they roll, still keep it in.
High formation backfield. Here's the give, Thomas. Gets around, 1 man still spinning on his feet. Out to the 35-yard line. That's what we talked about earlier. No running room for Kendrick Thomas, and he makes a great gain of about 11 yards out of it. First and 10.
Look at this. Way to keep the body in. Kolinsky finally pushed him out.
Nice running by Kendrick Thomas. Clock has been frozen at 3:10 left to go in the fourth quarter. We're tied up at 14. I formation backfield, receivers left and right.
Fake.
Play action. Rolando's gonna run it. Right up the gut. He gets it to about the 40-yard line. Met right there by Rob Getz, along with Rob Walker and Dan Cargill, but a pickup of 5 yards. 2nd and 5 from the 40. Clock rolling, under 3 minutes to go.
Right there, just nobody open. Rolando took it up the middle.
Stay tuned. We will have a post-game show for this one. As you see Rolando taking it straight up the gut. And he got 5. One receiver out in the wing. Here's the pitch. Thomas.
Looks like
got some room, but he's caught from behind. A great tackle.
Walker.
Rob Walker making the stop at the 46-yard line after a pickup of 6. And that will be good enough for a first down, I think. Yeah, it is.
First down for the Royals.
So Larkin is driving. Fans on their feet on both sides of the
Boy, did
field.
that look like a big hole that closed up early?
Walker, tremendous quickness, grabbed him from behind. Clock is moving. 2:15 and counting. High formation backfield. Receivers left and right side. Rolando incomplete. He was looking for Brown. That was a tough catch to make. It was behind him. Hit him in the hands, but he had to reach way back to try and get it.
Stafford really respecting Chris Brown's speed, giving him a nice cushion.
Brown, a triple jumper on Larkin's track team. He's a great athlete. He's their leading receiver by far. He's caught about 25 passes this year, close to 30 actually. He caught 4 last week for 66 yards against Moline.
There we go to Thomas. Oh, he strung it out
Not
again.
much there.
Oh, they're going to finish him off.
They held out.
Oh, boy, how could you call that?
They're going to call a late hit.
How could you call that when you're trying to bring down a man? It's hard to tackle as it is.
Looked like it was a late whistle too.
Seen his elusiveness.
Yep, personal foul
on the previous play.
That's a tough call. We got to take a look at that one again, hopefully, and see who was in there late. Actually, it really wasn't late. Here it is. Watch Thomas. He's going to be stacked up right away.
He's stacked up.
And it was Walker. Oh, that's a tough call. You got to make sure he doesn't break off. He's known for that.
He is.
The football's at the 40, 1st and 10 after the 15-yard penalty on Rob Walker for a late hit.
It's an emotional game. You know you're going to have stuff like that. Let the kids play.
Clock is running, and now Larkin is going to take a timeout. So 1:46 left to go in the fourth quarter. Our score is 14-all after that personal foul penalty on Elgin. Football sitting at the 40-yard line, and Joe, as we mentioned, the winner of this ball game stays at home next Saturday to play the winner of East St. Louis Senior and EastSt. Louis Lincoln.
East St. Louis Senior.
East St. Louis Senior. We should probably just write that in stone because they've won about 4 6A championships in the 80s, and they're the #1 ranked team, I believe, in the country, according to ESPN. Is that right?
That is correct. And they steamrolled over Danville 61-zip last week.
So obviously these two teams want to advance, but whoever does, it won't be the most fun time playing against East St. Louis. But it will be here.
Well, you have a week to prepare.
Got a week to prepare, heal the wounds a little bit.
Study films.
I don't know if you're going to get any films from East St. Louis, but I'm sure there are a lot of coaches across the state who have it. You know, it's not written in stone that you have to exchange films.
Don't understand that last call. That last call, there's a lot of emotion in this game. Everybody's just trying to do a job.
High formation backfield receivers out to the near and far side. Look for Larkin to try to keep the football on the ground. Big cushion on the far side. Now they go to Schneider, just a safety pass. He avoids a tackler and gets it to the 30. A 9-yard pickup. Just a quick, safe pass. A quick hitter. And Schneider made the most of it, avoiding a tackler. As there you see some of the skulls of success this year for Mike Rolando. Watch Schneider avoid the tackle by Stafford, and Charles has got to be just blowing wind out there. He's been playing two ways all afternoon, and they've tried to pick on him here. As
playing a little tighter now. They're playing a little tighter.
Except Carrington's giving a big cushion to Schneider on the far side.
Right up the middle.
Rolando on the sneak. Gets it to about the 26, a pickup of 4. It'll bring up a 2nd and 6. Clock is stopped at 1:06 left to go. Now it's moving. We're inside a minute to go. They're trying to get into range for Todd Sinko, who missed a 33-yarder earlier in this half. And now the clock whistle blows, and that's lucky for Larkin, because that pitch hit Kendrick Thomas in the shoulder pads and just bounced forward. The way things have been going for Larkin today, they probably would have recovered it. No turnovers yet for the Royals. And it's illegal procedure against Larkin.
He caught a break there.
Just a reminder, we will have a post-game show. Try to talk with some of the coaches and players of the winning teams. Both teams.
The clock is still moving. They have the clock still moving.
40 seconds in counting. High formation backfield. Schneider in motion. It's a long count. They better get rolling here. Here's Thomas. Big hole up the middle. He's inside the 20, down to the 19-yard line. A pickup of 12 yards, and Larkin takes a timeout. 21 seconds to go. Joe, this is so familiar to the game we did last year, except it was a different crosstown rivalry, Wheaton Central and Wheaton North, where it came down to a late field goal for Wheaton Central inside the final minute. And boy, this game mirrors that one so much.
Oh, that's a beautiful flashback going to that one, where Thorne hit Billy Hess
over the middle. We have just 21 seconds left to go in this one. Tied up ball game at 14-all. Larkin has the football on Elgin's 20. They would still like to push it up maybe another 5 yards or so, because from here it's a 37-yard field goal for Sinko.
Well, we've seen Sinko had enough distance on that last boot. It was just way off, and he was out of sync on the snap. They want to get it in good position also.
21 seconds to go. The winner advances to the quarterfinals.
It's going to try and hold him, try and pin him back for some kind of loss.
High formation backfield.
Oh, they blitz right there.
Rolando rolling. He better get rid of it. Throw! It's intercepted! Andy Poison with the interception! Mike Rolando just threw it up for grabs. And
want to get it in good position also.
21 seconds to go. The winner advances to the quarterfinals.
It's going to try and hold him, try and pin him back for some kind of loss.
High formation backfield.
Oh, they blitz right there.
Rolando rolling. He better get rid of it. Throw! It's intercepted! Andy Poison with the interception! Mike Rolando just threw it up for grabs. And Poison comes up with the biggest turnover of the ball game. I can't believe that.
Two of the most craziest calls I've ever seen. Elgin
scores first. We're going to go to overtime, it looks like. 13 seconds away. I think Elgin just may. Here's Stafford. He's going to go right up the middle. That should be the final play of regulation as we're going to go to overtime. That's it. OT time. I can't believe. I can't believe that last play. Mike Rolando, that was the only turnover up to this point of the ball game, and fans on the Larkin side just shaking their heads as they were in field goal range, and Rolando threw it up for grabs. He's going to have to shake it off here in overtime, though, as both teams will have a shot at winning it. 3-minute overtime.
Each team with 4 cracks from the 10, right?
Yep, 3 minutes until we'll resume this overtime period, and we'll be back shortly with the extra session right here on Jones Intercable's Game of the Week.
Timeout for Augustino's. Great food for a great time.
Augie Mix the Pass. It's one of his delicious mammoth sandwiches. Augie cooks everything up for the big appetite, like their party-size super subs and deli sandwiches. Treat your team to the best. Tackle one of Augustino's great pizzas with all the fixings. So team up with a winner, Augustino's Rock and Roll Deli on the corner of Schmally and St. Charles Road in Carroll Stream.
Who's got the best deli in the West?
Augustino's!
All right, welcome back. We are in overtime. Each team will have 4 cracks from the 10-yard line to put it into the end zone. We'll resume play in a couple of minutes here as they take a 3-minute break in between periods. That is between the 4th period and overtime. The key here, Joe, is to see which team wins the coin flip. And obviously at this point, if you win the coin flip, you want to play on defense first, because that way you know what you need when you get on offense. Because if the team kicks a field goal, obviously you can kick a field goal to at least tie it up, or else to go into the end zone for the touchdown. So the coin flip is so important here in the extra session. Much more important, say, than at the beginning or in the middle of a ball game.
Oh, without a doubt. It's just, Bob, here's overtime, or especially for this game. It's a do-or-die duel. Who wants it more, the Maroons or the Royals?
That's the question. The way Elgin has played, it seems like they almost want it more. They have gotten through so much adversity. 6 turnovers. They've stayed in the game. The defense has been solid. They've had injured players out there. The two teams. Larkin right now with the referee. They're discussing the coin flip right around midfield. And it's so important to see who's going to win it. Who will have the first crack at taking it into the end zone? You don't want to be that team. You want to be the team on defense first, so that you can tell who, in fact, how many points you'll need. There you see the Larkin bench. They knew they were in for a battle, and we've had it here. They dominated the first game just a week ago, but as Joe mentioned, it's so tough to win it twice.
It is.
Against a conference opponent. Elgin did it against Streamwood once during the season and once in the playoffs. But whoever wins this game, there's going to be pandemonium on the field.
This is the way it should come down.
Two strong teams from the same town going at it. As it's going to come down to 4 plays for each team, maybe less if someone could crack it into the end zone. Less than that.
It leaves you speechless. It leaves you speechless.
The captains at midfield discussing.
Punches it in. What defenses are going to break the threshold of the offensive line?
And Joe, we've just gotten word that East St. Louis Senior did win his ball game So someone's going to have to take on the Flying Flyers.
The #1 team in the nation.
Ooh. Well, neither of these teams cares about that at this point. They just want to advance to the quarterfinals and then see what happens from there. Everybody's beatable on any given Saturday or Friday night, whatever the case may be. And you know, each one of these teams is dying to advance to meet East St. Louis on the home field.
Basically, a war is fighting for territory. It's come down to this, and this has been a war.
And Larkin actually won the toss, so they will play defense, and Elgin will have first cracks of putting it into the end zone. They'll have 4 downs from the 10-yard line. That's the overtime system they play in high school football.
The offensive lines. Watch for the offensive lines, ladies and gentlemen. That's where these are won. That's where they're won.
Pro set backfield, double tight end. Here's the give. Off the right side, Washington gets 1 yard. Not much there at all. Kendrick Thomas in there on the tackle for Larkin. So it'll be 2nd and goal from the 9.
Second down at the 9.
The Maroons offensive line. The guards, Paul Pennington and Phil Swider. The 2 tackles, Dan Abello and Pufong Chanterbury. The center, who's done a great job, Clement McCullough.
Just a sophomore. Wishbone backfield. 3 men back there. Stafford on a keeper. Sweeping far side. He's going to be strung out. Still on his feet. He gets it down to close to the 5-yard line.
22, Stafford keeping the ball.
There wasn't much yardage there as he was strung out by a host of tacklers. And they're going to say he got it to the 5, a pickup of 4 yards.
They really strung him out. Timeout. Stevens is going to call a TO.
All right. So Elgin faces a 3rd and goal from the 5. This is the so-called gut check time. There's no time on the clock. There doesn't need to be any. Each team 4 downs to push it into the end zone. Tie ball game at 14 all. It's going to be a 3rd and goal facing Elgin from the 5-yard line. The winner of this one, as we mentioned, plays East St. Louis Senior, a team that won 4 state championships in Class 6A during the 80s. And one of the top high school football teams, not only in Illinois, but in the country.
All right, here. 3rd and 5 on a 5. You need 5.
They've got 2 shots at it. They still have 3rd and 4th down. It'll be interesting to see if they run into a 4th down situation, if Elgin kicks the field goal, or if they go for it all.
Let's see who dictates the line of scrimmage, who gets blown off the ball.
3rd and goal from the 5. 2 men in the backfield. Check that, the wishbone instead. It's Carrington, left side, he's in the end zone for a touchdown. LaBrian Carrington from 5 yards out takes it in for the score.
They smashed him, they smashed him. Carrington, a big hole, brings it in for the score.
Surprised how easy that was, but Carrington's quickness made it happen. Take a look again.
There it is. Oh, they just blasted right over Pennington's side. Right over Pennington and Pufong Chanterbury.
Let's see if they go for the 2. I'm almost sure that they will. Yep, that's the way they line up. 3 men in the backfield.
This is guts right here.
Look for Stafford to keep it, possibly. Nope. It's
doing it
Carrington
again.
Did he get in? No, he did not get in. He did not get in.
Ooh,
and it was Javon Stennis.
What a stop, what a stop, what a stop.
What a big play, because with the touchdown, if Larkin can pound it in, all they have to do is kick the extra point, as our score is 20-14.
It looked like he was going to get in, but he was stopped.
A great defensive stop down there. So Larkin gets its turn now. 1st and goal from the 10-yard line, and they know they need at least 6. So forget about any field goals.
22 eyes will be on Kendrick Thomas.
This is it. Elgin's defense has done such a great job all afternoon long.
Power eye.
Thomas and Heiser. The two setbacks, two receivers out there. It's Thomas. He's met right away. He gets a couple. It's at the 8-yard line now. Pennington, the leading tackler on this Elgin team, the only Maroon who has tasted victory against this Larkin team on any level. They're going to say he picked up only a yard, so it's going to be 2nd and 9. Chris Brown, the receiver, out to the far side. Charles Stafford on him. In the wing is Jim Schneider, I formation backfield. It's Thomas again.
Thomas to
sweeping right. He's still on his feet, twisting his way down to about the 2-yard line. Kendrick Thomas was met at the 5. He spinned off one tackler and got it down to about the 3-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd and goal. Now they spot it with the nose hitting the 2.
Oh my.
This is what high school football is all about, ladies and gentlemen. Overtime.
They're going over Hornok's side.
Winner take all. 3 men in the backfield.
Watch Thomas.
He's got the football off the right side. Is he in? No, he's not. He's right at the goal line. He is right at the goal line. The pile was pushing off the right side, off of Hornok's side, the big 260-pound
They're going to call their best play.
And this is it for all the marbles. 4th and 1 from the 1. This is it. 20-14 our score. Larkin needs a touchdown, and they can kick the extra point and go home with a stunning victory. I tell you, Joe, the way both teams have played, no one's a loser today. Unfortunately, the old cliche, but I think it really applies in this situation. Someone's got to go home a winner, but both teams have played like winners, but only one can take home the W.
This is the time you go over the offense and the defense. Rolando at quarterback, Thomas at running back, Heiser at fullback, Brown at wide receiver, Schneider the flanker, Lickner the tight end, the line, Pritchett, Petshaw, Fellows, Hughes, and Hornick. And you go to the Maroons defense, Charles Stafford, Rob Walker, Robert Getz, Jason Ackman, Chris Savino, Chris Van Stone, Andy Poison, David Spann, Pennington in there, Kilgore, and Kotlinski.
All the players on both teams deserve a great amount of credit for the way they have played football this afternoon. 20-14 our score. This is it, the biggest play of the season for both teams.
Do or die duel, who wants more?
Here's the give, Thomas, is he in? Yes, touchdown! Kendrick Thomas from the 1 takes it in. The ball game's all tied up.
They went over Hornick. They went over Hornick. A huge right tackle.
Let's take a look at it again. He just needed 1 yard. There he goes. They stacked it up, and he just got in there. He needed another yard. He wouldn't have got it. Todd Sinko, all the weight on this senior's shoulders. Here's the extra point attempt. The kick is up. Is it good? It is! Larkin has won it! Larkin has beaten Elgin!
Larkin goes. Elgin goes home. Stevens is stunned. One of the best ball games played.
21-20, the final score. Todd Sinko buries the extra point, and for the 2nd time this year, Larkin has beaten Elgin, and this was a great ball game. Coach Bob Krieger hugging all his players out there. He's going nuts. The Larkin fans going crazy.
So much emotion.
And we will definitely have a post-game show. Check out the Larkin fans. They are going nuts. Elgin stunned.
can't describe it, Bob. Words can't describe it.
There you see Mark Hornok. He's a pretty happy guy. All the Larkin fans going crazy. Field is flooded out there. Coach Rob Krieger being swamped by the media. Of course, we will have a post-game show. There you see the final again. 21-20. Larkin in just a tremendous ball game. A tremendous ball game. 21-20. The final, the fans going crazy. We will have a post-game show. And we apologize for some of the audio difficulties.
My baby's dying.
All right, sir, we're on our way.
Screwdriver.
Got to it just in time.
Cavelli's A1 service. Randall and Galena in Aurora.
All right, welcome back to Memorial Field, where we have just had a tremendous ball game. The final, Larkin beating Elgin 21-20 in overtime. Bob Urzik alongside Joe Schneider, and we have the starting fullback and linebacker on this Larkin Royals team, Chris Heiser, down on the field. And Chris, first of all, congratulations. I imagine this has got to be the greatest win in your career at Larkin, as well as the other players on the team.
Oh yeah, it's real nice.
What do you think some of the keys were in this ball game? You guys jumped out to a 14-0 lead, and Elgin fought back. You had all the turnovers. Were you getting a little disappointed there, seeing that it seemed like you guys were owning the game, but yet it was still so close?
Yeah, we pretty much just out-hit them all game, but you know we got a lot of good breaks, but we couldn't capitalize on them, and you know, but we just had to keep our heads up and keep going.
What did Coach Krieger tell you guys at halftime in the locker room, seeing that the score was 14-7 and Elgin possibly had the momentum coming out in the second half?
Well, he just said that we were pounding them and that we should just keep our heads up and that everything was going to come out all right.
I guess from here you guys have East St. Louis Senior. You're going to have them at home. This is one of the top-ranked teams in the country. I imagine you're not looking forward to playing them, but you got to still be happy that you're moving on.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a tough game, but anything can happen in the sport of football, so
Chris,
it should be all right.
Chris, this is Joe Schneider here.
Hi.
Your offensive line has just been playing great in the game against East Moline, and in this game here, it seems like in the fourth quarter when it's been moving the ball effectively when it had to. Do you give the offensive line the W here?
Oh yeah, definitely, because with a guy like Mark Hornok, who's definitely the best lineman in this conference, you can just run behind him all night. No one's going to stop him. No one's going to stalemate his blocks.
That's who they ran behind, Kendrick, on that last play, correct?
Yeah.
All right, Chris, thanks a lot. Good luck next week against East St. Louis.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, there you heard it from Chris Heiser. And whew, what a ball game we have had. There you saw Coach Rob Krieger taking the water on the head. They didn't have the Gatorade down there, but he took the water, and boy, he's got to be tremendously happy out there as well. What a ball game. By far the best ball game we've had all year on Jones Intercable, and what a time to pick it in the second round of the playoffs.
You had the feeling coming into this game that it would live up to all its expectations. You have a Civil War clash part 2, the do or die duel. Who wants it more, the Maroons or the Royals? The Royals got it, Bob, on a Kendrick Thomas run over Hornok.
You're right about that, and as we mentioned, the key in overtime is obviously winning the coin flip and then going on defense. That's what Larkin did. They knew they needed 7 points. They got the extra point kick from Todd Sinko. What a big kick that was, the biggest of his life. And now Larkin advances into the quarterfinals, and there you see Coach Rob Krieger. What a tremendous first season he has had as Larkin moves to 10-1. You couldn't ask for anything more. They had 2 goals coming into this year, Joe. First of all, they wanted to win the Upstate A championship. They did it last week, beating Elgin. Then they just wanted to get into the playoffs. They did that as well, and now everything, I guess, from this point is icing on the cake, huh?
Super test, beating Elgin twice. You know they were going to come out full barrels. A couple questionable calls where Elgin threw the football and then Larkin threw the football when you thought both teams would still stick to the run. You learn from sometimes mistakes in games like that. You have the playoff pressure of an overtime. You're able to handle that. They're going to have to just try and keep the ball away from East St. Louis Senior. That's the key, their offensive line.
They have to control the football. That
the
is
offensive
the key.
line.
Because the Flyers, boy, that name is so perfect for them. They can run the football so well. But we've got Coach Bob Krieger down on the field right now. Coach Krieger, geez, this is his first season. What a tremendous season. There you see him getting the hugs. Coach, congratulations, first of all, on a tremendous ball game. I mean, for you, this has got to be just a dream opening season.
I'm excited for all the kids. This is a great moment in their lives. They'll remember it for the rest of their the entire life. And I'm real proud of them. They came back when the going was tough down there, you know, late in the game when the momentum changed. And they turned it around and brought home a win. That's great.
You mentioned the momentum change. You're up 14-0 heading into the half, but then Elgin scores the late touchdown, and it seems like the momentum switches to their side. They score again in the third quarter. What did you tell them in halftime? What did you tell them in the huddle when it was all tied up?
Well, I think when I talked to you during the summer, we emphasized the fact that we set goals and we try to accomplish those goals. And as long as we stay focused in those particular goals, that we'll be successful. And what we talked about at half was that we have a goal. We've set some goals right after our championship game here on this field, and that was a state championship. In order to accomplish those, we have to stay focused. We can't let momentum, we can't let crowd get into our, and we can't let bad calls get into our and interfere with our focus. And if you can keep that in mind, then we'll be successful, and that's what we tried to stress in the halftime.
Now, Bob, obviously every team sets goals coming out each year, but did you ever have it in your wildest dreams? Your first season head coaching, you were so long at Streamwood that this team could go, what, 10-1 right now, rolling on to the quarterfinals, and now you have a team like East St. Louis Senior, one of the top teams in the country, not only in the state of Illinois. What do they look like in your mind?
Well, they're an excellent ball club. Obviously, they wouldn't be rated #1 in the nation if they're not an excellent team. We've got to play a perfect game, and we've got to come out and establish our running game and open up the game for Mike. And if we can do that, we'll be successful. We've just got to stay focused, and it's a great opportunity for us. We don't look at it anything else but a great opportunity.
Coach Joe Schneider here. First of all, congratulations on the victory.
Thank you, Joe.
You mentioned the running game. It seems like this offensive line rises to the occasion time and time again. Maybe got away from your game plan a little maybe in the third, but then you went back to Kendrick Thomas behind that big offensive line of yours, and you dictated the game in the fourth.
Well, that's what we wanted to try to do. After they got that late score in the third quarter, we said to ourselves we want to establish the running game again and do the things that we came here to try to accomplish, and we did that. And we did stumble a little bit. We had a trouble late in that drive, and we couldn't get it in the end zone. But I'm happy with what turned out today.
Coach, I guess just one final comment. You really had a ball game on your hands today. Elgin coming in with some guys hurt. You beat them up pretty well on Friday night. You got to give them credit for giving you guys just a tremendous game.
I want to say to Coach Stevens that they've got a great football club there, and he's a great coach. And if somebody's got to win and somebody's got to lose, but I know he believes in his kids, and he cares for them as much as I care for mine.
Okay, Bob, thanks again and congratulations. Good luck next week.
Thank you.
Good job.
All right, there you see Coach Krieger, and what a tremendous job he has done in his first season at Larkin. Once again, our final score, 21-20 in overtime. That is it from Memorial Field. A tremendous ball game. You saw it. Stay with us again. Thanks again for watching, everybody. For everybody at Jones Intercable, including Joe Schneider, I'm Bob Erzik saying good night and thanks for watching.
Good night.